What do you want?
Aiden, you're sweeping.
For who?
For Acheeto.
Why would I be sweeping for Acheeto?
I don't know. You tell me.
How am I sweeping?
You didn't ask any questions. You just like laid down belly up and like accepted what she was saying.
So when the girl says to me, we actually nothing outside of this public exchange happened and we didn't like really talk. What else am I supposed to ask?
You're supposed to get deep into the story. You don't even know what we're linking you is like different shit. There are DMs that have been leaked of him like taking advantage of like a mentally ill schizophrenic, like BPD, like coagulation of mental illnesses woman.
Was it this girl?
No, it was a different one. There's multiple women who he's asked to build shrines for him. Multiple women.
There are? So wait, link this to me.
You're sweeping! Aiden, you're sweeping!
I didn't see this. You have to link this to me. You can't just drop that and not link it. You have to show me this.
What? You're not even doing like research.
I was covering
you're a day one sweeper. You're getting this information. You're gonna send it straight to Acheeto, Augustus Acheeto, and you're gonna get him to fucking delete this. You're gonna fucking sweep for him.
Okay, so are you lying right now about what?
No, I'm not. Let me find the fucking.
You have to back that up. You have to back that up.
Oh yes, I agree. Hold on, give me a second. Uno momento, por favor.
No problem.
Here. I know who to contact. Here. So okay. Can I screen share for you?
Yeah, let me pull this up for the stream. Hold on. Wait.
You're good. Let me I'll start screen sharing and then I'll
yeah, I'll pop it out and then I'll let you know when I go. Hold on. Pop out. How do I pop this shit out? Oh, there we go. All right, window capture. One sec. Best streamer ever. Wait, I don't want to accidentally share my fucking stream. There we go. Cool. All right.
So I'll start over here. So we have Acheeto. So we see the Acheeto shrine, right? This is Instagram story. Acheeto replies, "What?" Right? And then he says, "You need to make a 4-minute tour, and I'll react to this for a video." Okay. Then this exchange goes to Twitter. Okay. This exchange switches to Twitter. Okay. So these DMs, I don't have a lot of DMs. I'm in contact with the girl. I'm going to see if I can get more because, we obviously, this is not a lot to go off of. But Acheeto says, I thought you were 18 or something. She says, I'm almost 17. So this is another 16-year-old in addition to the previous 16-year-old who you were just on call with, who was 16 at the time. And then she says, no, I turned 17 in June. Tons of people assume I'm 18. Well, take care and be safe. And then we have an Instagram story of her saying, thinking about how my therapist told me to stop obsessing over random YouTuber men and how my reply was, he follows me on Instagram. This is in relation to Acheeto. So he is taking advantage of like an extremely parasocial woman.
Wait, stop. Hold on. Were there any further exchanges when he found out she was 17?
From what I know, yes, but from what I know, it's not like I'm not making a claim that he's like a fucking pedophile or predatory, to be clear. So I'm not making the claim of like, oh, I'm talking to her or whatever, right? I just think it's weird that he's like getting girls to try to make shrines for him so he can make fucking videos on it and LARP as a Turkey Tom Skinwalker. That's the claim that I'm making. I don't think it's anything like more than that. He was like 19. I think he's 20 now. So like even if he was interested in this girl in like a romantic way, I wouldn't care. I just think it's weird.
So he's just being cringe. This is like a nothing burger. Okay.
You think DMing like 16-year-old girls to make shrines for you is a nothing burger?
No, this is exactly what you do.
You're sweeping.
This is no. You have to be very careful because you are like you have to tread very
You're a sweeper. I know
you're new to this. No, I know you're new to this, but like the way you like go about like talking about allegations is totally reckless. You have to specify your language.
You're sweeping. You're sweeping. You're sweeping.
I don't like the guy. I have no reason to sweep for him. But when we're dealing with something like this,
I didn't know Aiden was a brand of brooms.
Oh my god! Hold on,
Swipper mop.
You're literally doing the fucking Jalen thing from the other day, where like Jalen makes a serious argument and then starts trolling. I'm being serious right now. I'm not joking.
I'm being serious too. I think this is genuinely weird. To claim that this is a nothing burger is like retarded.
I get that it's weird, but when you say it's weird and you throw in the fact that there's 16 in there, there is very clearly an implication here.
Okay, the implication is that this girl is very, hold on, Aiden. The implication is that this girl is very clearly and very publicly mentally ill. And there's no way he couldn't have known this. She's like very openly and publicly mentally ill on her social medias, on Instagram and Twitter, right? And he DMs her and he's like, oh, let me get fucking videos of the shrine and shit. Right. Wait, so again, I'm not to be very clear, no accusations of pedophilia, no accusations of grooming, no accusations of predation, nothing like that. I just think this is fucking insane. And to claim that it's a nothing burger is retarded.
It is a nothing burger. You have one fucking store, and
this is a nothing burger to you.
Let me hold on. You're interrupting me because you know I'm like about to like destroy you. Okay, what you've brought me here is one fucking Instagram story from a guy who probably realistically follows hundreds of people, where she admits she goes to a therapist. Do you know how many people go to therapists?
What reason would he have to follow this girl?
Because he saw she probably did the shrine for Tom and wanted one of his own. Yeah, sure. That's like odd.
And you don't think that that's weird.
But like when you throw in that she's 16 in there, it very clearly sounded like there was something else being implied here that is just not the case.
I don't know how you could come to that conclusion.
What does her age have to do with this if it's not pedophilia?
I think her age has a lot to do with that outside of pedophilia. What do you mean?
Can you answer my question?
You asked, what does her age have to do with that outside of pedophilia?
Yes, that's exactly what I just asked. Thank you for repeating it.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to be clear, Aiden. I apologize.
No problem. Can you answer my question?
Of course. I would love to answer your question. I think her age matters outside of pedophilia in the sense that she is still a 16-year-old, right? And she doesn't fully understand or comprehend what she's doing, right? This is probably not good to be making shrines of YouTubers and forming really weird, unhealthy parasocial relationships that the YouTubers who you're obsessed with are capitalizing on, right? You don't think that's weird?
Do you know? Okay, no. I think it's weird. This is literally the same situation as what got you in trouble last time. I agree that it's. I agree because do you know what you did the last time? There was a VC where somebody moaned at you, and there were minors in that VC that were deafened beforehand. This person deafened all of them, and then made this.
Okay, if you want to be like an optics brain fuck, you can like make that claim. But this is like really, this is such a retarded comparison, dude.
When you're talking about shit like this, you can't get reckless with it. You can't get reckless with it.
What have I been reckless with?
So what happened with the situation where with the moaning at minors in VC, you said when you talked about this person later on stream, you said, yeah, they were moaning around minors. The problem with that is that before they did this joke to you, which is weird because it's moaning, is that they deafened everybody else in the call. So the minors couldn't hear or were not present for anything that was going on. So when you throw that in there, there's a certain implication that
this guy's being weird around minors, which he was. Yes. Fuck off, you retard. Okay, Aiden. Do you think her age has absolutely nothing to do with what happened here?
In this context, no, I don't think it does.
Okay, so you don't think an impressionable 16-year-old who has had who is clearly displaying a very obvious parasocial relationship, you don't think that matters at all?
Wait, clearly she said she's going to a therapist. You know how many fucking 16-year-olds go to therapists?
So you don't think her age matters here at all?
No, explain how it does. You have to argue for that.
I've been explaining it. She's obviously an impressionable 16-year-old who's showcasing a very obvious parasocial relationship, right? And Acheeto is taking advantage of this.
So he saw that she did something for Tom. He asked her to do the same thing.
No, this is a different girl. He did this to multiple girls. Some of them aren't even public. Some of them I can't even talk about.
Okay, the one he goes and asks for the shrine from, why did
on
he
Twitter,
hit her
the one that you just called?
Wait, also, are you in contact with this girl?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about no, not the one I just called. I'm talking about the other one, the one you came in here to talk to me about. Okay. The one you just displayed evidence of. That's the one we're talking about here right now. This girl, why did he hit her up? How did he know who she was?
How did he know who she was?
Yes.
She was in his Discord server, and that is how he found her.
And he just he right-clicked on a random person and said, hey, can you make me a shrine?
He didn't. I believe that is how things went. Obviously, I'm missing some core details here, some fundamental details here, right? But he was in contact with this girl for a while before this, supposedly.
So here's the thing, right? In every dynamic you're ever gonna have, there is always gonna be a gap of intelligence, of impressionability. Like even when you're dealing like
yes, but I understand this. I understand this. I've done this argument before. The issue here, Aiden, the issue here is that this person is very obviously showcasing a parasocial relationship, and Acheeto is taking advantage of that, right?
So you want to argue for the parasocial relationship?
And the fact that she's like an impressionable, fucking mentally ill 16-year-old. She's obviously not well in the head and doesn't understand like what she's doing.
What we're arguing about right now, we can go to the next points in a minute, because like you're like gish galloping. What I want to argue with about right now is the age, the relevance of the age. So her being 16, I don't understand how that's relevant to his request. You're saying she's an impressionable 16-year-old. Sure, there's levels of impressionability to every dynamic, but the burden for you is to prove that she was so impressionable that he was taking advantage of her. There's power dynamics in every exchange we ever have. There's a power dynamic between me and you right now, okay? But it is the level of the power dynamic is important to assess to know when it reaches the point of trouble. Now, him being 19 and her being 16 is not a significant enough age gap for us to argue that that the age plays any relevance in like the impressionability in this context.
Okay. The Acheeto could have been fucking 14. It doesn't matter. This person is.
But when you add in the
shut
age,
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're retarded. I don't understand how you could possibly not agree with me here. This girl is 16, right? This girl is not fully matured mentally. She's displaying very clear mental illness. She's going to therapy. She was well known in Acheeto's Discord for being mentally ill. She was well known on Instagram and Twitter for being mentally ill. That was literally her shtick, right? That was literally her persona online, was that she was a fucking mentally ill retard. And then she meets Acheeto in his Discord server. They move to Instagram. She makes the shrine, and he's like, "Oh, take a video." And then, like, they keep talking. They keep having these exchanges. And then even like fucking this screenshot, right? I believe it's this one. Yeah.
So the other thing I want to assess
you guys think if I start taking my medication again, my obsession with Acheeto will fade out? Acheeto, do you want that to happen? And Acheeto replies to this saying no.
First of all,
like he's playing into the mental illness.
Oh my God. First of all, when she said, like, you realize, like, there's no medication that's going to make you stop obsessing with Acheeto. I think she's being, like, one of those, like, I'm not like the other girls. Like, look how quirky and, like, mentally ill I am. Which, by the way, there's so many 16-year-olds online to do that shit. The burden for you is to prove that she was so mentally ill that she reasonably would have been taken advantage of in this context.
She made a fucking shrine.
The other girl did, too. But he stopped asking her when he found out about her age.
The other girl did not make a shrine. There's multiple women who he's asked to build shrines for him. Did not make an Acheeto shrine.
Or, sorry, he requested it. He requested that she do that. She denied it, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's the first girl. The girl we're talking about right here did end up making a shrine, correct? Because he wanted content for a video.
Okay, the issue here is that this girl was obviously obsessed with Acheeto. Through his Discord server, through all forms of fucking social media. She made Acheeto cakes. She made Acheeto shrines. Like, I can't prove the cake thing right now. I can get proof for that, whatever. But like,
there's a 16-year-old.
He was entertaining like a fucking genuine like schizophrenic girl who was obsessed with him.
Wait, how do you know she's schizophrenic?
She's like schizophrenic and has BPD.
He said she's schizophrenic.
I believe so, yes. Obviously, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong on that, but I'm almost certain.
But why don't you just say she's mentally ill? I don't understand the age part here.
I have tried my damnedest to explain to you why I think the age matters. If you still come out of Aiden, if you still come out of this thinking that the age doesn't matter, when I've explained why I think the age matters, I don't know what to tell you. The age to me, genuinely, wholeheartedly does matter. This is a 16-year-old girl who is mentally ill, who is obsessed with a YouTuber, and the YouTuber is taking advantage of that for content.
So we have three variables we've identified here for like the problems with this dynamic. She's mentally ill. There's a parasocial relationship.
I don't care about a power. I'm not making a power dynamic argument.
Hold on, let me finish the point. Let me finish the point.
Retard. Holy fuck. There's no time in this fucking call have I made an argument about power dynamics. You're pulling that out of your ass. You're punching ghosts right now. I don't give a fuck about power dynamics. I'm saying that he's just taking advantage of a mentally ill girl.
Dude, you're doing like the fucking circular reasoning thing right now, dude. You like it matters that she's 16.
You're fucking chasing your tail, dude. Every single time you've answered me or asked me a question, I fucking answered it. You're punching ghosts.
I don't like him as much as the next guy, but I think you're like jumping the gun on something that's really not that big of a deal.
Hey, what the fuck are you talking? You're genuinely sweeping. You're genuinely sweeping.
Why would I sweep for him? I think I've burned like every connection I have with him over the last week. Like, did you see what I said about him in my last
You're
stream?
sweeping, dude.
Streams? It was literally 2 streams ago. It was called Acheeto is a fucking loser. Why would I sweep for him?
You tell me. I don't know. I can't come up with that determination. I'm giving you sufficient evidence to suggest that Acheeto was going along with a mentally ill girl's fucking weird, fucked up fantasies about being obsessed with this guy, and you're just like, dude, like I don't see why this is a big deal. I don't see why this is a big deal.
It sounds like but boy, so is it fair to say he saw a fangirl in his audience, wanted to get a shrine made for a video, and said, hey, will you make this for me? And then he said, wait, how old are you? And she said, I'm such and such age. He said, oh, no, okay, never mind.
Dude. He met her through Discord, and this girl, again, this girl's entire the whole reason why she was known is that she was mentally ill and like legitimately had schizophrenia.
Do you have proof?
I can get proof, yes, but you're going to have to believe me on this.
Please
if you don't believe me, then there's no discussion to be had here.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to present me some evidence, obviously.
Okay, again, if you don't believe me, there's not gonna be like much of a discussion to be had here. You're gonna have to take me at my word at least for like fucking today or something.
I'm not going to take your word for something as serious as this today. I'm going to need to see more evidence before I make a conclusion like that.
I'm just going to repeat myself. Then there's legitimately no discussion to be had right now.
The way you described this when you joined, I think any reasonable person would think there was some sort of predatory insinuation. I know that wasn't what you were going for, but when you're bringing up that she's 16 in this context and shit, like I genuinely thought you were about to present me proof.
Oh my god! Fucking brick wall.
I know what you're
Holy
explaining
fuck.
now.
Brick
No,
wall.
I get that you've clarified.
When you're made of fucking bricks.
I get that you've clarified now, but you do realize that your wording like gives off a totally different implication to everybody else, right?
Yeah, and your wording gives off that you're fucking defending Acheeto when he's done something legitimately fucking weird.
How would I mean? Because I said I need to see more evidence? Are you serious?
No, that's not why I think that. I think I've made my opinions here very clear. I don't know how you can come to that conclusion. You've come to some drastic conclusions in this call, Aiden.
You've been begging the question with the 16-year-old thing. You're like, oh well, the 16-year-old thing is relevant because it's relevant. It's like there's
dude, it's not relevant because it's relevant. Are you trolling? Am I being trolled right now?
No, anytime.
You can't be this fucking retarded. Dude, genuinely, okay, hold on. Content aside, genuinely, are you trolling? Because I don't want to fucking waste my time.
No, dude,
because I have not done a single circular fucking reasoning in this entire argument. When you've asked me a fucking question, I've answered it. When you've asked me why is the age relevant, I've explained why I think the age is relevant. And then you just were like, okay, well, that like you're just insinuating pedophilia. That's not the case. I've made that abundantly clear. That's not the case. I think the age is relevant, and I've made that abundantly clear. I can repeat myself if you need.
So I don't know if you're not listening or something. I just said I know that you clarified after the fact. I'm saying your wording on this though gives off a certain implication to the average person that you're probably correct. Now what I'm going to say following that up is that anytime you have answered when I've asked, hey, what is the relevance of the age? But when I was trying to say there are 3 variables here that have been brought up, you bring up both of the other 2 variables to prove that the variable of her age matters. The relevance of her age should stand. Like when I say, hey, why is it relevant that she's 16? It's like, why is it relevant that she's manipulating a parasocial mentally ill 16-year-old? It's like sure, the parasocial thing we could talk about, the mentally ill thing we could talk about, but what is the relevance of the 16 part?
That is 16. Underage people can't consent. Underage people are fucking retarded. Obviously. Okay. Why do I need to fucking explain this to you?
Consent? Underage people can't consent. I thought this wasn't a pedophilia argument. He's not hitting on her.
It isn't a pedophilia argument. Consent isn't just for sex. You fucking retard. Holy fuck.
Yes,
okay.
It is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You fucking idiot.
Do you think the age of consent matters just in general for every exchange somebody has? No, it has to do with
a majority
sex.
of the time, yes. Okay, Aiden, I'm gonna fucking put my baby gloves on. I'm gonna put my fucking baby hands on, right? And I'm gonna explain to you why a 16-year-old cannot possibly comprehend the repercussions of being obsessed with a adult content creator to the extent that she is making cakes, as in to the extent that she's making fucking shrines. I'm gonna try my best to explain this to you because I don't know. I cannot fathom how you could possibly not see this. And you're extremely intelligent. You're extremely like profound in the academics. I don't understand how you can't fucking fathom this, right? So minors, right? 16-year-olds, probably for the most part, you're going to find your niche, whatever cases, right? For the most part, they cannot comprehend the repercussions of their actions. Right, Aiden? So when I look at a case involving a 16-year-old who is diagnosed with fucking schizophrenia, who is openly obsessed with Acheeto, who is openly mentally ill and legitimately fucking crazy, and I look at a case like that, I'm like, oh, okay, what is Acheeto's response to this? His response is to get her to bake cakes. His response is to get her to make shrines. His response is to farm this parasociality from a 16-year-old mentally ill fan who is obsessed with this, right?
So
like, this is insane. Her age obviously fucking matters.
So before you keep gish galloping, okay, before you keep gish galloping, what you just said was a 16-year-old cannot comprehend the repercussions of her actions. So is that a general statement? Does that apply to every decision a 16-year-old makes?
1000%, yes. For the most part. Again, you're going to find your niche situations, but for the most part, yes.
So should we not ask 16-year-olds to do anything?
As it stands, yes. Whenever a 16-year-old does something, their parents need to usually sign off on it.
Okay. So
that's how the world works, at least in the West right now. Or at least in the USA, maybe.
So like when I'm 16 and I get like a homework assignment or whatever, does my teacher need to like contact my parent every time they give it to me?
No, but I'm pretty sure the parents need to consent to the child going to that specific school.
Okay, I agree, but your whole argument here right now, when you're bringing up like consent and shit, right? Consent in this context, when you're talking about age gaps and shit, it's like the age of consent. We're talking about sex, right? You're saying that applies to all.
You're the one who's bringing up sex.
Makes.
I never brought up sex. I never brought up pedophilia. I never brought up predation, right?
Whenever,
to be clear, in this entire discussion, whenever anything about sex or fucking pedophilia or anything has been brought up, it's been by you.
So there are plenty of things that 16-year-olds can consent to, okay? There are plenty of things that 16-year-olds can consent to. Name one thing a 16-year-old can consent to. A 16-year-old can consent to, in some states, can't they consent to getting a tattoo?
I'm pretty sure no. I think it's 18. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not fulfilled on US tattoo.
Not a tattoo.
Law.
Yeah. I think I'm wrong on that one. Not a tattoo. So you don't think there's anything a 16-year-old can consent to?
I think the fact that we have like the age of consent, right, proves that they don't.
When you say age of consent, that is specifically talking about sex. So you can't go and accuse me of making it sexual and bring up pedophilia when you keep having to refer to the fucking age of consent. Under your logic,
why can't a 16-year-old hold on? Why can't a 16-year-old join the military? Why can't a 16-year-old drink alcohol? Why can't a 16-year-old smoke weed?
Because with every decision you make, there is a certain risk being taken. The risks of joining the military, the risks of having sex.
So what do you think the risks are of forming an insanely unhealthy parasocial relationship to the point where you're baking cakes and making shrines?
Not nearly as substantial. Not nearly as substantial.
No. I'm asking you what the risks are. I'm not asking you to compare them to anything. What are the risks of that?
You make yourself look like a dumbass on somebody's video.
You don't think that the parasocial relationship that you're forming and the obsessiveness that you're forming with this person has any effect on like unhealthy, any unhealthy effect at all?
You have to argue for that. I don't understand. Like, what do you think like the unhealthy effect here is going to be?
Dude, you're not answering like any question I've given you. Okay, in this discussion, I've literally answered every single thing you've given me. And whenever I ask you a question, you try to fucking weasel your way out of it.
I'm not. Your question here, you're asking me.
No, okay, I'm asking you, do you think there is any unhealthy thing, anything unhealthy that can come from that?
Yeah, that she could be laughed at and feel distressed. Sure.
You think that is it?
I'm sure there's other things. I'm sure there's like many different scenarios that could occur as a result of that. Just like with any decision anyone makes ever, there's like plenty of possibilities as to what can happen.
Okay, do you genuinely think that this is a nothing burger? That Acheeto taking advantage of a very obviously mentally ill, diagnosed schizophrenic, that is genuinely just a nothing burger to you? Yeah,
I think you're begging the question. You haven't provided any proof that there was someone was taken advantage of.
I have provided an insane amount of proof.
Someone was taken advantage of. There's no proof. What do you think taking advantage of means?
What do you think taking advantage of means?
I asked the question first. Now answer it and stop weaseling.
It's self-explanatory. You're taking advantage. What do you mean?
What is that? What do you think that means?
Like if you have an advantage over someone, you're taking that, right? So this Acheeto person, right? This mentally ill, schizophrenic, diagnosed 16-year-old is obviously not right in the head. So if you go to this person who is obsessed with you and you're like, hey, make a shrine for me, that is obviously taking advantage of them.
Sure. I think it's weird to ask someone to make a shrine of you in general. When we're bringing up
don't you think it gets worse? Don't you think it gets worse when this person is like obsessed with you and is legitimately like mentally ill, provably so?
When you say provably so, it's your burden to prove that he had knowledge that she was so mentally ill that she couldn't consent to a decision like making a shrine.
I have a mild form of schizophrenia. She is diagnosed, and she has talked about it publicly in a server and Acheeto's DMs, like all this shit, dude.
Are you talking to this girl one-on-one right now?
Not yet. I'm still doing research on the topic.
You said you were in contact with her, didn't you?
I have contact with her, but I'm not talking to her actively.
Okay, when you say you're in contact with her, what does that mean? Have you spoken to her?
Not yet. Again, I don't want to talk to a fucking mentally ill 17-year-old until I have all my fucking I's dotted and T's crossed.
So what do you mean when you say you have contact with her? I don't understand what that means.
If I wanted to DM this person, I could fucking type on my keyboard and hit send.
Well, I could do that too. I mean, we all could do that.
Then go ahead. Fucking get your own. What the fuck do you want?
I think the implication here was that you've spoken to this person.
Again, not yet. I'm not fucking fiending to talk to mentally ill 17-year-olds who are obsessed with Acheeto.
Oh, wait, the other girl wants in the call.
Okay.
She just called me.
Does she want a one-on-one with you, or does she want a group shot?
Hold on, what were you saying? Hold on, 1 minute, Morel. What were you saying? Or what did you want to say, Adia?
Oh, I just wanted to say that, like, Joanna's the person, she's my friend, right? And, like, I've been texting her this time. She isn't responding to me, so I don't know. She's probably just not online right now.
You're friends with her, correct?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
You're 17. You're 17. You're about to be an adult. You could probably make a reasonable assessment of this. In your opinion, do you think Acheeto took advantage of her?
No.
Joanna, how mentally ill is she? Does she hallucinate with you and stuff?
Does she hallucinate with me?
Actually, don't say that. I don't want to fuck this girl's privacy over. So sorry. What I want to say is, in your opinion, is she so mentally ill that she can't consent to something like that?
No, dude. Okay, like, I want you to look at the average One Direction stands bedroom from 2014.
Exactly.
It's like regular teen girl behavior.
Exactly. It sounds like she's a fangirl. It sounds like she's a fangirl, right? Because some of these BTS stands and shit I see on Twitter, they would appear crazy to me too. Like the amount they obsess over fucking I don't know this guy's name, the one Korean guy. But this sounds to me like this is just a fangirl. And if it's just a fangirl that's 16, I don't think there's anything predatory. Sure, weird. I think it's weird to ask anyone to make a shrine of you, regardless of their age. But you're the only
person that has ever brought up predatory, dude.
When you bring up things like the age of consent, there is clearly something being implied, and I'm sorry, you are a fucking moron if you don't see that.
No, Aiden, you fucking stupid piece of shit. This entire fucking call, you've literally just been sweeping for fucking Acheeto. You can't comprehend any reality how this could be a fucking weird thing. You're like, oh no, this isn't weird. This is pretty, this is nothing. You're not engaging with anything that I'm saying. I've engaged with literally everything you've fucking given me. You're legitimately just sweeping for this guy who's a fucking freak. There's multiple cases of him being a fucking freak, and you're just sweeping for him, dude. You're insane. You're the biggest sweeper fucking ever.
So you want me to ask you something? I'm going to ask you, when you say I don't think it's weird, I just said it was weird fucking 10 seconds ago.
It's a nothing burger. You keep saying it's a nothing burger.
Because it isn't. Because it is a nothing burger. There's not the way you worded it in the most bad faith light possible, taking advantage of a mentally ill girl. Here's her friend.
That is me being, how is that bad faith?
This girl who admitted, because
hold on, Aiden. Let me be good faith. Okay, Acheeto met this insanely mentally ill girl in Discord. He couldn't have possibly known, even though she's publicly mentally ill, right? This is insanely good faith, right? And he found her on Instagram. He followed her on Instagram. He starts DMing this girl, right? This is completely good faith, and he just wanted her to make a shrine. He couldn't have possibly known the constant posts on all of her fucking social media about how she's mentally ill, the fact that she's actually diagnosed with fucking schizophrenia, right?
You're gish galloping.
He couldn't have possibly known, so we just asked her to make a fucking shrine out of nowhere. And it's not even that bad. It's okay to do that.
I hate using that word. I hate using that word.
Fucking good faith?
Dude, if there's a dictionary definition of gish galloping, it's literally this, what he just did. Dude, you're presenting 18 points at once, regardless of their merit. And
I'm
it's
just
impossible.
Being good faith, dude. It's not weird at all. It's not weird.
No, you're not. This argument makes you're presenting so many things at once that we instead of addressing.
I'm going through the motions, dude. I don't know. I'm being good faith.
Okay, okay. You're so mad right now. You think it's sweeping that I'm trying to be fair.
I think you're fucking insane for having the position you do.
Okay. You have like yet to actually make a good argument for that. This girl.
I am pretty sure I have sufficiently. I am pretty sure I have sufficiently. Okay, squirrel, fuck you. I'm pretty sure I have sufficiently fucking put forward my position. You're just a fucking inept piece of shit that can't fucking comprehend it, okay?
Can I finish a thought? Can I finish a thought?
If you can fucking manage it, dude, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh my god, you're so mad. Dude, this girl who admittedly who you led us to believe at the beginning you were in contact with, now it's just that you have a line of contact to her. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'm gonna be good faith and assume it wasn't intentional, right? Her friend who is in contact with her has just come in here, and her friend is saying, yeah, she can very reasonably like consent to a basic decision like this. Her mental, like, do you think her mental illness plays a, like, for example, if I have depression, I'm mentally ill, right? Do you think this girl's mental illness, I'm asking Addie or whatever, do you think this girl's mental illness is so severe that she couldn't reasonably consent to something like this? Would it impair her ability to consent to something like this?
No, it's just like stupid, like random fangirl activities.
Yeah, you talk to her, you're in contact with her.
So Aiden, you're believing another 17-year-old. Like, what are you doing? What is this?
You're acting like I'm
talking to a 17-year-old. Like, okay, do you think this mentally ill 17-year-old can do this thing? Obviously, she's gonna say fucking yes. What are you doing?
You realize she's less than 2 years younger than me, right? Like, you're acting like I'm talking to a baby.
No, I'm just, what are you fucking doing? You're like going to the crowd and you're like, okay, well, like, you're also a 17-year-old girl. Do you think she can do this?
I'm assessing whether or not this girl's mental illness was to an extent where it could reasonably impede her ability to consent to this, right? And who better to ask than her friend?
Yeah, no, she's not like retarded. She's definitely retarded.
Okay. You just said you haven't spoken to her.
Do you have to speak to someone to make the determination if they're mentally ill or retarded?
So what are you basing this off of?
Everything that I've seen. What? What have you seen? What do you mean? What?
What have you seen?
Fucking testimonies, DMs, leaked DMs, fucking Discord conversations.
Didn't you just ask her to make a schizo shrine for a funny video bit? Yes, Alex, but Morale is claiming he's taking advantage of her.
There is significantly more than that. Aiden, to be clear, Aiden is legitimately fucking sweeping for this guy. Legitimately sweeping for Acheeto. Unironic sweeping. This is legitimate fucking sweeping.
What else is there? I'm going off what you just showed me. If there's something else,
dude, what do you mean? I've said so fucking much. This is like.
What did he do? Tell us what he did. Tell us what else he did besides the shrine thing.
How much is Acheeto paying you?
Tell us what else he did besides the shrine thing.
What do you think I've said in this call? I've said way more than just the shrine thing.
You said he asked her to bake a cake and make a shrine. That's all you said.
Right, and you're only talking about the shrine shit.
Yeah, wait, you're saying there's way more than that. Like there's like some like big new information. Can you give it to us, please?
You're only talking about the shrine thing, though. That's the issue. You're taking. No. Hold on. Fucking retard. You're taking everything throughout this entire conversation that I've said, and you're only taking fucking one thing. You're like, you've only said this one thing. You're ignoring everything else I could have possibly fucking said. Okay.
I'm okay with the shrine, guys, but cake baking is where I draw the line.
If you're okay with the shrine, then you have an inherent bias, and you can't fucking talk about this shit.
No, I'm fucking mocking you, dude. What would the cake baking add that the shrine couldn't?
Thing for shrines if you think this is an okay thing to do.
Wait, what would the cake baking add that the shrine couldn't?
Legitimately, I'm telling you, man to man, this is legitimately sweeping. This is like an insane position to have.
You can keep saying that. Can you present us with the other information?
I have presented it already, brother.
So we have cake baking and shrine making.
Among the other things I've said in this call. Aiden, I like there's this entire call. The only thing you can think of is like, oh, you only talk about the shrine thing. Let's don't talk about anything else, right?
Wait. So what I just said when I was reiterating your argument and tell me what I'm going to give your argument to you, and you're going to tell me exactly what I'm leaving out.
So when I give you something, you're going to be like, okay, it's this one thing, this is the second thing, and then it's the third thing. Okay, what's the fourth thing? You're going to keep going, dude.
So here's what I'm going to do. His strategy is to talk over the other person to like seem he's winning. So here's what I'm going to do. This is your argument, and tell me what I've left out. Your argument here is that this girl is, and this is almost verbatim what you fucking said. This girl, this girl, she is 16, she is mentally ill, she has a parasocial relationship with her, and he went into her DMs asking her to make a shrine for his video and bake a cake. Because of these three variables that I've identified, he is taking advantage of her by asking her to do these two things. What else did I leave out?
Wait, can we pause for a second?
I'm not.
Can I ask why I was added real quick?
I don't know.
You're my mentally ill 16-year-old girl, motherfucker. Fuck
wait,
you. You
my
can add your
question.
mentally ill 16-year-old. I can add mine. Fuck off.
Stop trying to.
I just
stop.
say I don't that.
Hold on.
made the shrine because it's.
Wait, Addie, hold on. Can you answer the question? What did I leave out, Morel? What did I leave out?
No, that's pretty much it. And if you defend that, I think you're a freak.
Wait, but you just said I left some new information out. That's the information, the thing that I've just said 5 times.
No, there's way more, but yeah. If you take what I said to you, Aiden, if you take what I said to you, Aiden.
Wait,
Aiden, hold on. I let you talk. 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 Come on. Come on. I let you talk. I let you talk. I let you talk.
You just said that's pretty much it. You just said.
I let you talk.
Okay.
I let you talk.
So he just said that's pretty much it.
Come on,
and now
Aiden,
he's saying there's more that he didn't bring in. So which one is it?
Everything that I've given you, and you even repeat it to me, and you're like, oh no, this is fine. Like I have no issue with this. Like if you genuinely hold that position, you're insane.
Wait, we're not arguing for the position right now. We're arguing for what I left out, which is what you just said I did, and I've just given you your argument back to you verbatim.
If you take everything that I've said
to
you, I'm telling you, if you take everything that I've said to you, and you genuinely think there's nothing wrong with it, you're insane. And I don't think you hold a good position, and you're like legitimately sweeping.
Dude, I just explained to you almost verbatim what your position was after you implied that I left something out, and then I said, okay, well, what did I leave out?
You're not even addressing anything that I'm saying, dude. You're not even addressing anything that I'm saying.
I let you talk, let me talk. I let you talk, let me talk. Dude, I literally said that to you, and now you're saying to me, no, what I'm addressing right now is you accusing me of leaving something out. Okay, so I'm going to repeat my question
because you're not addressing like literally anything that I'm saying, right?
Can I make one claim?
You have the ability to repeat everything that I've said, right? You have the ability to come back to me and say everything that Acheeto did, right? And then you also hold the position that somehow
you said I left something out.
Nothing bad happened. Like this is just a normal thing. It's a nothing burger, and nobody should talk about this, right? Like that is. Do you not see how that's not insane? You're
jumping point to point to point. What we're talking about right now is what I left out. So tell me, what did I leave out?
You're not even addressing anything I'm saying.
We'll address that in 1 second. We're addressing what you just said. So what did I leave out? What did I leave out? What did I leave out? You accused me of leaving something out. What did I leave out?
This is going to be a rough one.
What did I leave out? You can't just do this performance stuff and not answer the question. You accused me of leaving something out. What did I leave out?
Let me know when you're ready to address what I said.
I will. Just tell me what I left out. Oh my god, dude. Are you trolling? I have to know. Are you trolling right now?
Listen.
You accuse me of leaving something out.
You're able to give me everything that I said, Aiden. You're able to give me everything that I said, right? Everything that I said. All back to me. And you're not even able to make the concession that like, oh, this thing might be bad. This thing might be onto law. Like this thing might be bad. This thing might be bad. What Acheeto did, right? He might have taken advantage of a schizophrenic 16-year-old girl, right? He just might have.
We'll get to that in a minute.
He just might have. You can't even make that simple concession. You have to walk around it. You have to walk around it and create like you have to invent points from inside of your head. You have to invent positions that you don't even support. You're insane. Address what I'm saying. How are you able to take everything that I've said and not think that it's even like a little bit weird?
You can't accuse me of leaving stuff out and then all of a sudden decide, and then all of a sudden decide, and then all of a sudden decide when I respond that you're going to jump to the next point. That's not how an argument works.
You're insane.
That's not how a discussion works. You just can't answer the question.
I'm having a discussion with you. I'm just waiting for you to address what I've said.
No,
I'm just waiting for you to address what I've
said. You decided to make an act.
Oh, fuck.
Waiting for him to tell me what I left out. I'm sure we'll get an answer in like 2 weeks. What did I leave out? I'll answer your question after you tell me what I left out.
What do you think you left out?
You accused me of it, dipshit.
I know I did. What do you think you left out?
I'm asking you what I left out.
What do you think you left out?
You're trolling. I know you're not good at this.
I'm not trolling. What do you mean?
Trolling.
I'm asking you a genuine question. Do you think you left anything out that I could possibly have like grabbed or latched onto?
I just repeated you back to verbatim your argument, and you said I didn't leave anything out after saying I left something out. So what did I leave out?
What do you think you left out?
You made the accusation. Tell me what did I leave out?
I will gladly tell you. I'm just curious. Do you think you left anything out?
No, I don't. So what did I leave out?
You wholeheartedly think you didn't leave anything out.
I don't. So what? So now you tell me, what did I leave out?
Genuinely, you cannot fathom anything that you might have left out.
I can't. So can you tell me, what did I leave out?
Aiden, you understand how bad this makes you look, right?
You're trolling.
I'm not trolling, dude. I'm like trying to have a like
dude, you're delusional.
Dude, at this point, this is more of a fireside chat than anything. This is insane.
Leave out.
This is insane, dude.
Dude, are you like the Fleur? Like, I need to. It's like a Riddler to decipher what I left. This has to be a joke.
This is insane.
What did I leave out? Tell me what I left.
Dude.
Tell me what I left out.
Tell you what you left out?
Are you so you yes.
You left out the cake thing.
When I repeated your argument back to you verbatim, I brought up the cake thing, but that was 10 minutes ago of me trying to re-ask you. What did I leave out? I literally said to you verbatim.
I'm not talking about you repeating yourself. I'm talking originally.
No, but then when I clarified, I said, what else was there besides a cake? You said there's a whole lot more. So I said, what else did I leave out? So you can't now revert back to the cake thing.
It was just the cake thing.
Yes, wait, you realize we're on a fucking VOD right now. Okay, we're on a VOD. Anyone can rewind the stream.
I'm confident.
Anyone. Okay, cool. Right.
So are you going to address what I've been saying now, or are you just going to ignore it and walk past it?
No.
Because it seems like what you're doing is, seems like it, hold on, Aiden, to be clear, it seems like what you're doing is, it seems like you're bringing forward all of these like retarded questions, these retarded positions, so that way you don't actually have to address anything. And you can continue to sweep for this, like, quite frankly, abhorrent behavior.
This is a troll, right? I'm being trolled, guys, right? I'm being trolled, right?
Are you going to address what I've said?
I'll address what you said, but before we move on, I just want to make sure you're not trolling. So I just want you to know you have the chance to come clean to me. You're trolling right now.
Hold on.
If I engage,
I'm coming forward with you in good faith, 100%. And 100% good faith. 100% good faith.
I was talking first.
I understand. 100% good faith. Good faith.
If I'm okay, so I'm gonna engage with you. If I find out later that this was a troll, because this relates to like very serious allegations against somebody, you will be blocked and I will never speak to you again. So you're telling me now you're not trolling? Are you sure you want to go with that?
You're threatening to block me over a Discord debate if I was trolling?
Well, you're making okay. If I'm not going to engage in debating serious allegations against somebody that you're making right now, if you're later going to come here and tell me this is a troll. So I'm going to engage with everything you say, but I want you to let me know right now if you're trolling. This is what you're gonna go with. You're not trolling.
Okay, how about this? Can we find a middle ground?
Are you trolling or not?
I mean, like, I haven't been 100% serious, but I believe what I'm saying to be true. So how about this?
So
how about it's like half trolling, to be clear. Let's restart. I'll put forward my argument, and then we can have like a genuine discussion about it.
All right. So you're trolling.
I don't think it was full trolling.
Wait, so you realize you're doing what Jalen did, right? The thing that should.
No, like, I genuinely believe the position that I have.
Sure, I'm sure Jalen genuinely believed her position too. But you said to Jalen, you called it Schrodinger's retard, where you make serious points and then pretend like you're trolling when it comes time to
I'm
actually
making serious
address
points, and I believe what I'm saying to be true.
Okay, but you just admitted you're now partially trolling. So are you not doing what you just accused Jalen of doing
trolling
2 days ago? A quarter trolling.
Sure, whatever.
So you're doing,
I don't give a shit. Can we restart? Hold on. Sure. I don't care. Can we restart? I can give forward my argument and then we can talk about it. Because I feel like we've gotten lost in the mud a little bit. We can just go from square one. Because I feel like at this point that would be way more helpful to just restart and get the raw fucking arguments back. Would that be helpful a little bit?
It would have been helpful if what here have you said tonight that you didn't actually believe? Let's establish that.
When I said like there was a massive amount of information that you left out, probably was not true. I think you left out like one thing. So so I think that you said that, you got cornered on it, you knew it wasn't true, and you're now claiming you were trolling to get out of that. That's honestly what I think. But no, you literally just left out the cake thing. That is the only thing I think you left out.
Okay. So how come when I then brought up what else besides the cake thing, you said that there's more?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I'm telling you, like, can we just restart with the raw arguments? Okay.
So you're doing what Jalen did, what you just came at Jalen.
Sure. I don't care. I don't care. Sure. Can we restart with the raw arguments?
We can restart. I'll give you a redo on this debate. I don't normally do this for people, but you're a very special case, so I'll give you a do-over.
Okay. So just the raw arguments. I'm gonna come to you with my opinion. Okay. Okay. So I think, based on what I am able to see, right, it genuinely seems like this girl was taken advantage of, not in a sexual way, not in a insanely malicious way, just taken advantage of in a way for like content or whatever, right? Or like a shrine video that Acheeto was doing or something like that. Nothing malicious.
That's exactly what we talked about at first.
Yes. Again, I'm just coming forward to you with my raw arguments. Okay. So nothing insanely malicious, nothing insanely bad. This is literally just weird and something I don't think Acheeto should have done, right? Is that something you disagree with?
That it's something he shouldn't have done?
Like, I think this is like,
so when we say things,
sure.
So when we say things like shouldn't have done, the implication for me here is that there's like a moral bad coming out of this. And it hasn't been demonstrated to me yet that there is a moral bad coming from this. Is it something I would have personally done? No, because I find it like strange to DM anybody asking them for a shrine. I think you like make yourself look stupid. But when you say shouldn't have done, I kind of reject the framing of that question because it implies that I think he did something morally wrong, which I feel like you have to argue for, which you have not effectively done throughout the course of this conversation.
Okay, the rest of this conversation doesn't exist. We're restarting. Okay, ground zero, right? So okay. I think you've already muddied the waters, and
how
now
have I muddied the waters? Like that
what
never happened. So you've already like given your arguments beforehand, and now because like you apparently trolled at some points, which I don't even think happened, we're now gonna like go through this all again and pretend like that whole discussion just never happened.
I mean, you can pretend that it happened. I want to try to explain to you my position because I feel like you don't understand me. Okay, I want to try to come to you with my position because even if we don't agree, I feel like some good would be had if you are able to at the very least understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, cool. Explain it.
Okay, so why I think this is probably a moral bad, right? And I'm not like fucking anchored in on this or some shit, right? Like I could probably be convinced out of it. I'm not like super hard on this. Why I think this is a moral bad is again to preference. Anything I'm saying has nothing to do with pedophilia, grooming, predation, whatever, right? Why I think this is a moral bad is this girl, from what I understand and from what I've heard from multiple different people who are in contact with her and who have experienced like conversation with her, who whatever, right? I have been told that this girl is like genuinely mentally ill. She like actually has fucking schizophrenia. She's actually insane. Like whatever. And to be clear,
her friend just came in here and said that's not the case, but keep going.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe her.
Why would she lie?
To protect her friend, to make her friend look better.
If she's her friend and she thinks her friend was taken advantage of, wouldn't she have like more incentive to like say she was taken advantage of?
I don't think she thinks her friend was taken advantage of, though. I think she's trying to make her friend look better.
And this is a girl you've admittedly never been in contact with, so you're gonna have to provide something you've read that would like give you an accurate assessment of her personality. So what have you read? What evidence do you have that she was so mentally ill that she couldn't consent to baking a cake and making a fan art shrine?
Sure, I'm gonna restart what I said.
Why
the reason
okay.
because you interrupted me halfway through.
Okay, cool.
So, you asked me to explain why this was a moral bad, right?
Yeah, that's like the overarching discussion. We're going point by point now.
So I think this is a moral bad. Because this girl, from everything that I've read, extremely mentally ill, actually insane, whatever. Everything that I've seen, all the evidence that I've been given from people who either one knew her or people who two were like friend of a friend or involved in the Acheeto Discord server, stuff like that. Right. So I think this is bad. Because I don't think someone who is like fangirling, right? I don't like the assumption that being a fangirl to this extent is like okay, and it's very obvious that if you're a fangirl to this extent, your mind would be not privy to like saying no, right? Like if someone came to
that's a non sequitur. You're going like you've just made that point and you've reached a conclusion that you have just not demonstrated whatsoever. Being a fangirl is not like demonstration that you can't consent, right? Like I don't think
if you're a fangirl of someone, if someone asks you to do something and you're an insane fan of them, do you think you're not more likely to say yes to them?
More likely, sure, but do you have the ability to assess it and say yes or no?
Say yes or no to what? Sorry, what do you mean?
The request, like, is she of sound mind to be able to, like, for example,
I think this is stacking. I think this is stacking. So like, one, she's genuinely fucking schizophrenic and insane, right? And then two, on top of that,
you haven't proved that yet. You haven't proved that she's insane.
Okay,
there's a difference. Do you understand? There's a fundamental difference between having a diagnosed mental illness and being insane.
She is diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay, she's diagnosed with schizophrenia. The question: Do you think schizophrenic people like ever get married?
Probably.
Or like make big decisions, like have sex. When schizophrenic people are medicated, their symptoms can subside to a point where they can reasonably consent to everyday things, basic things, even make big decisions. So the question is,
can I make like a hypothetical then for you to follow, so we fucking get through this?
The question is, was she going through an episode so significant she could not consent to him the moment he was asking her, and did he know she was schizophrenic?
Okay, I'm gonna do this in the form of a hypothetical, so we fucking get somewhere. Okay.
Can you answer my question?
What was your question?
I just asked it.
I think yes. I think she probably was not at sound mind to say yes to something like this or to do something like this. I think he was taking advantage of her.
Can you prove that he knew she was schizophrenic, and can you demonstrate she was so mentally incapacitated at the time by her schizophrenia that she couldn't reasonably consent to a request like this?
I have seen evidence to suggest that. I don't know if I can fucking gather it all within like a 5-minute time frame.
You don't have to. I can give you until whenever you can gather it, but you're asking me to assume that the answer to this is yes without providing me with said evidence. I think you should have come here a little more prepared.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a hypothetical. So again, we can fucking get somewhere, right? Let's say hypothetically. What?
Sure, I don't know what that's gonna prove here though.
Okay, let's say hypothetically there is a mentally ill fucking 16-year-old girl, right? She's extremely mentally ill, actually insane, schizophrenic, right? Sure, maybe being a little hyperbolic, but she is genuinely like diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses, right? And then this girl who is also a fan of like a YouTuber, she's an insane fan. She like makes shrines, bake cakes, whatever. Do you think that she would not be more likely to say yes to something that YouTuber would like say to her? Like if that YouTuber made a request of her, she wouldn't be more likely to say yes to that thing.
Yes, but you're more likely to say yes or no to anything for a various number of factors. The question here that you're not providing us enough information with is she actively going through a schizophrenic episode at the time of this?
Dude.
Do you think people with schizophrenia can't live like normal lives when they're medicated?
That's not at all what I'm saying.
But you're bringing that up as a point, as if it incapacitated her decision making.
Hold on, Kate. I say she's mentally ill. You're like, okay, what is she diagnosed with? I say schizophrenic, and they're like, okay, well that doesn't matter. Like, what are you doing?
Okay. What you just brought up in your hypothetical that this girl is schizophrenic, mentally ill, and she's asked me, is she more likely to say yes? And I said, sure, of course she's more likely to say yes to a request like this. But I don't know, but there's not enough there for me to say that she's more likely to say yes because of the schizophrenia. Is she actively going through a schizophrenic episode at the time insane mentally ill? Like this. You're using the two interchangeably. The two are not interchangeable. I have depression. Many people.
Okay, insanity. On top of insanity. Mentally ill, on top of fucking mentally ill, schizophrenic.
You have to prove,
like all of these combined.
You have to prove insanity.
Okay, in this hypothetical, I fucking proved it. Holy shit! Can we fucking get somewhere with this conversation?
If she is actually fucking insane at that point in time, and the person asking her is aware of it, to do this thing for her, then sure, you could say he might be taking advantage of her. Sure, he's taking advantage of her.
Okay, so we don't disagree.
Now the question is, can you demonstrate that she's insane? Can you demonstrate that she didn't have knowledge? I
don't know how many times
I
have to say yes, but yes, dude.
Okay. Then when you demonstrate that, I will make my conclusion. But if you cannot provide that evidence to me now, then I can't make a conclusion. because you have not given me enough information I would need to make that conclusion.
Okay,
Does
so
that make sense?
in this insane fucking hypothetical that I have to make up to fucking get anywhere with this conversation, let's say I gave you that evidence, then would you fucking agree with me?
If you gave me evidence that reasonably demonstrated that she was insane, then sure, I'd probably agree with you.
Okay, and the reason you don't agree with me is because the evidence I've given you so far isn't enough.
You've provided me with evidence that she sees a therapist. Seeing a therapist does not mean you are insane. If you think a 16-year-old seeing a therapist makes them insane, then there are a lot of fucking insane 16-year-olds out there. I
fucking said that, but sure.
The screenshot you provided 2 pictures. You provided pictures of the DMs.
I provided way more pictures. What are you talking about? What?
So people can rewind the VOD. You showed us 2 pictures.
Did you just stop looking at my screen?
When else were you screen sharing? I had it up
the entire time.
What? No, you did not. You were not screen sharing anything else. I closed it out when you stopped screen sharing. Okay, what else did you show besides those 2? What else did you show? We're not doing this again. Dude, what else did you show?
Sure, I can literally. Hey, shut the fuck up! Oh my god, give me fucking 2 minutes, 2 seconds, maybe.
Oh, he's doing it again. Can't answer a basic question.
I'm answering it. Give me a fucking second, dude.
Okay, cool.
This is going to be way more effective than me fucking just recounting everything.
Sure,
look in DMs or look in group chat or whatever.
Do you guys think if I start? Yeah, you already. Okay, you showed this to us originally. I pulled this up on stream, so I was wrong. You actually showed us 3 pictures. What morale or what this guy's just pulled up is? Let me pull it up for you guys. Is this image right here? So I was wrong. You actually showed us 3, not 2. My bad, dude. You said. Do you guys think?
Showed all of them, dude.
Do you guys think if I start taking my medication again, my obsession with Acheeto will fade out? Acheeto, do you want that to happen? This clearly looks like a joke or like a girl being edgy. Like there are girls that make jokes about being fucking psych ward regulars all the time on Twitter. This seems like an edgy 16-year-old fangirl. There's like literally nothing here that would indicate that she's insane.
You're going so good faith. You're like going best faith ever. Like, why?
Because this is not enough to establish that somebody is insane.
Dude.
Do you think there's actually medication she takes? Do you think there's stop obsessing with the Acheeto medication out there? Because I've never heard of this. This is obviously a fucking troll. Or not a troll. She's obviously either exaggerating or joking. There's no stop hating Acheeto medication that exists.
Okay, I'm telling you, Aiden. I'm telling you. Her entire personality being online, right? Her entire personality being online is that she is like legitimately fucking mentally ill. I am telling you that wholeheartedly. I'm not gonna fucking go to her. I don't know how to prove this to you. I don't know what to tell you that will make you understand this. But there is hold on. There is not a world, right? There's not a world in which fucking Acheeto didn't know, right?
It looks like she's just being a fucking edgelord 16.
You can't prove that.
Wait.
Hold on. So her entire personality online is being like a fucking mentally ill schizo fucking 16-year-old.
So here's what I can do. So here's what I can do, right? Here's what I can do. I can look at the screenshot in front of me. I know, logically, that there are no medications out there that get someone to stop obsessing with Acheeto. So the logical assumption would be this is like a joke or like edgy like ass tweet. This is obviously like not a real tweet about like this is very clearly like not an actual.
Do you know what antipsychotics are?
I know what antipsychotics are, yes.
What do you think an antipsychotic would do?
So it depends on the type of antipsychotic. I know that there are some like fucking what is it? Abilify that can be used to curb temper, to stop like immediate hallucinations. There are medications that like for schizophrenic they can stop positive symptoms like hallucinations. They can't stop negative symptoms like lack of affect or anything. There's different kinds. So it depends on the antipsychotic you're talking about.
Sure. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be a joke, but I just don't think I don't think you can make that determination, right? This entire girl, her fucking presence online is that she is like genuinely fucking mentally ill, insane, whatever, right?
Do you not understand why there would need to be something more here before I could make the assessment that Acheeto took advantage of somebody? Do you genuinely not understand why I would like need something else besides this, where there's like so much room for interpretation? Do you not like understand that? Really?
No, I do. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know, dude. It genuinely seems like you just, we just have a disagreement maybe.
What I'm telling you here is that there is simply not enough for me to conclude that he has taken advantage of somebody. If you can present me with something else, which you've said you might have on hand and you'd have to have a few days to gather, then please be my guest. But right now, I don't think there's enough for me here, and quite frankly, most people, to be able to conclude that a mentally ill or a insane person was taken advantage of.
Okay. So hypothetically, if everything I've given you is true, right? Then you would agree with me.
What do you mean everything you've given me?
Or everything I said to you, not given you.
If this girl is insane, and how I define insane is like not having like a basic ability to comprehend right and wrong, hence impeding your decision making, then sure, if she is genuinely insane, then you could say he took advantage of her. But if you have zero evidence of that besides a tweet that can be like interpreted as like edgy or semi-ironic, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't make the conclusion that he took advantage of her. And you can say I'm sweeping for him. I don't like the guy. I literally made a whole stream this week, like just doing nothing but shitting on him. Okay, so of course, if there was something out there that was like bad about him, of course I'd cover it. But I'm telling you here right now that you're being a little reckless with these allegations because you just simply don't have enough.
I don't believe I am. I'm telling you, genuinely, this is what I believe, right? I think that this girl, I don't think this girl was at sound mind, right? I don't think anybody with a sound mind who is like diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses would like, and who is also like insanely like parasocial with Acheeto. I don't think anybody like doing that is sound mind, right? I don't think this girl was at a sound mind.
So when you say parasocial, what you mean is a fucking fangirl, because everything you've demonstrated to me here does not extend the realm of somebody being a fangirl. Okay, like everything you've presented
that doesn't
here,
change anything.
Yes, it does, because you're wording it like you're wording it like you're wording it in a very like you word things in a certain way to like make it hit differently than like just saying it as it is. And how it is this girl is a fangirl of Acheeto who you're alleging has mental illness that impedes her ability to such an extent that she's insane and she reasonably could not consent to requests like this. The two requests being baking a cake and building a shrine. I am telling you that there is not enough here to conclude that. That is the entire discussion.
Yeah, I just disagree.
Okay, cool. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, fucking don't tire yourself out with sweeping, I guess. Don't tire your arms out.
No problem, dude. Yeah. No problem, bro. Take care.
I think I performed swimmingly in that debate. I think I performed swimmingly in that debate, chat. I think I performed swimmingly. Swimmingly. All right, let's go back to what was I watching? It was Justical Destiny and fucking Destiny and Ellie Jean arguing, right? Let's go back to that.
Can we ask Destiny? No, I have to step in here.
Oh yeah, Aiden is also a pedophile. I agree with that, X. I agree with that.
And actually ask you, Destiny, just real quick. Can I ask you about the Pixie thread? I gotta ask about the Pixie thread.
We can talk about anything.
Let's talk about the Pixie thread.
I just wanted to be clear that Kelly was just being
what is your derangement at me?
That's fine.
Is it like this deep-seated resentment for how I was around the honor stuff? Because I'll apologize. But like, I don't know what else you want me to do.
I don't have any resentment. I was just calling out for.
You seem like you
told a whole bunch of lies. That's all I was saying.
This isn't lies. This was speculation.
Well, that was great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Listen, chat. Listen, chat. Listen, chat. I think that debate went swimmingly. Okay, I think that debate went swimmingly. The silence, dude. There's so much dead air in my streams. This isn't new. I think that debate went swimmingly. I think I won. I think Aiden is evil, potentially. Aiden is evil, potentially. Okay. Yeah, bro, you can't say right afterwards. I don't know. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe my position. I guess I just, like, there's a shit. I don't have a fucking document ready, I guess. If I prepared better, probably. But it was like an impromptu debate. Someone in my chat literally said, like, this guy's calling this Twitter e-girl or whatever. I swear kick is botted. Probably not. Please stop coping and move on. This is painful. True. True. Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe my point. I think Acheeto's a freak. That's kind of it. I don't really care if I can't like prove it to Aiden. I've seen all I need to see, I suppose.
You don't understand the difference, right?
Kelly, months ago you were saying I'm getting chat logs. Forethought Maulding, banned from Lonerbox for being a coomer. Is that true?
Yeah, he did get banned for being a Kuma from Lunabox's stuff.
What was it for?
That's all that Lonerbox said on his stream.
Lonerbox, there's literally a quote from Lonerbox's stream. Kelly's probably listening to the stream when Lonerbox said Forethought got banned for being a coomer.
And then I was making fun of him in the chat for it.
And then, but you didn't hear anything.
Is that what you? Is that what you?
Please, can I chat with you? Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. You wanna have a little chat? We can talk. I don't care. Acheeto is a dirty rat. Not that bad. Are you gonna add me on Discord or something? Why is Aiden calling me back?
So, Morale, are you aware of what I've just been sent?
What have you been sent?
Oh boy. So this is this has to be a meme.
I think that's one of the ones I showed you, right?
No, it's not. You showed me 3. Anybody can rewind the VOD. You did not show us to me.
Hold on. I'm almost 90% sure I did.
You didn't. Because the only one I asked you that
No, I did.
Where? I had it pulled up on screen.
The response from wait, hold on. God damn it. One sec. I think I missed.
You know what you can do?
No, I missed. I missed one fucking. Give me a sec. Hold on.
So you didn't show this one to me?
No, I did. You can, dude. Look at the group chat. I literally did.
Where? Let's look.
There's a top half to it. I should have sent it. I don't know where it is. I don't know why it's not sending it. Oh yeah, fuck. Okay. No, that's my bad. No, hold on. That's my bad. I forgot the top half. I'm pulling these, not that this is an excuse, obviously. I obviously fucked up by not sending all of it, right? I wholeheartedly, like, I take that, or I own that, or whatever. I should have sent the top half. I'm getting these fucking screenshots from like multiple different places. So I do apologize. That was not intentional on my part.
Acheeto just messaged me that he just took the screenshot I'm displaying on screen, so there's no way you have access to this.
I look at your DMs.
I don't see it. I'm looking.
I just sent it to you. This is dude, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I'm good, Lamau. A lot of the unhinged stuff I said. Oh, so you sent me the second. You sent me one of these messages.
No, like I said, I apologize.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I understand. Again, Aiden,
that would have been pretty good to start off with. That would have been pretty.
Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you, Aiden, I apologize. I'm getting these screenshots from multiple different sources. Right?
Okay,
I understand. I should have sent the top part. It is my bad for not sending the top part. I genuinely thought I did. I apologize. I own that. Okay? I thought I sent the top part.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. This is really just not a good look.
What do you, who cares? I don't care. I genuinely, everything that I have said, I genuinely believe in.
Okay. Do you not understand like how this DM like kind of like challenges the notion of like insanity that you were using earlier?
I don't believe it does now.
So this
again, from everything that I understand about this girl, she is like insane. To be very clear, I don't think anything like evil or malicious happened here. I just think it's like really weird.
Okay, I've said it was like weird repeatedly just to ask someone to make a shrine, but that's
But
not
you
what
followed it up with like
about.
nothing burger, and I don't agree that this is a nothing burger.
Because it is a nothing burger. If it's not a nothing burger, you have to
sure,
argue that it's
we
more than
agree.
weird.
We agree on the nothing, or disagree on the nothing burger thing. Then
You've already made your opinion up, dude. I don't think like there's anything. I mean,
because nothing that you've said today has made me like go back on everything that I've been told about this situation.
I don't think anything I say is gonna make you go back.
I'm sure there's something you could give me, but I genuinely, wholeheartedly think, like again, dude, this is something I've been looking into for fucking weeks at this point. Like I have seen way more that I probably like. I can't fucking recount everything.
I get that, but this is when we're discussing whether or not she is mentally ill. And I'm asking you, did he know, et cetera, et cetera? You should have recalled this DM right here and should have shown it in its entirety. You've admitted that was a mistake, so I'm glad you admitted that, and you've apologized to me.
Yeah, again, I should have sent both of them. I apologize.
It's not me you need to apologize to. It's Acheeto. What I'm going to say here right now is...
Hold on, 100%. I'm never apologizing to Acheeto. I believe everything that I said wholeheartedly. I genuinely believe he took advantage of a mentally ill girl.
Okay, you just have not provided any evidence for that. She seems perfectly sane here.
Sure. I genuinely believe that I have seen sufficient evidence to suggest that. I might not be able to bring it all up on stream right now. I could probably get with you like fucking in a day or two if I'm able to compile everything, or even on a stream. I don't care.
I'm not going to talk to you about this one-on-one, and do you know why? There's been multiple like fundamental details in the stream that when I've said something or we've had a discussion and you've either gone back on that, contradicted yourself, or outright disagreed with what we had just spoken about.
I don't think I contradicted myself ever. So
I feel like, well, when you say to me, and you're now claiming in hindsight that this was a troll, but when you say to me that I left something out, and then I say, oh, well, what about like the cake thing? And then you say, well, there's more than that. And then you say, no, you just later on, after I had said that, like 10 minutes after I said that, you said, no, it was just the cake thing. Then yes, you've contradicted yourself. So you tried to pass it off as a troll after the fact, which by the way, is what you just got on Jalen for doing literally like yesterday or 2 days ago. Obviously, I'm not going to have this conversation with you in private. I need it to be witnessed by everybody because I can't.
You can be on stream then. I don't care.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, I genuinely everything I have said here on stream, I wholeheartedly believe in.
Okay. Well,
to add on top of it, because I know the call's gonna end soon. Whatever. I don't think anything malicious. I don't think there was a fucking grooming or anything like evil. I just think this is like insanely weird and probably bad. That's like the extent of it. I'm not trying to imply that fucking anything of malpractice took place or whatever, right? That is never my claim, and I'm never going to claim that.
You used the term that you said that he took advantage of her, and you were citing
that's probably like the extent of it, yeah.
Okay, that's the
past that. I don't think there's
a pretty big Wait, when we say taken advantage of, that pretty much implies that something malicious took place, right? Is there a way you could take advantage of somebody where it's not malicious? That's my question for you.
Maybe, probably not. Maybe my wording's just fucked. When I say malicious, I'm meaning like insanely like fucking evil. Like I don't think there was grooming or predation or anything like that.
Okay. Your wording here has implied, all of your wording here has implied malice, and now you're going back on it.
Sure, if it's malice in terms of taking advantage of, sure. If it's malice, like I think she was taken advantage of.
I'm trying not to get angry at you here, dude. I'm trying not to get angry at you.
Dude, you're so fucking like, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Your view of like what is ethically right and wrong is like really fucked. Like you're just genuinely optics brand. We're talking
about a guy taking advantage of somebody, which is what you alleged. We have to be, I said to you at the beginning of this discussion, we have to be very careful about how we word this, okay? And you've been everything but careful. You've been outright reckless.
I don't believe so.
I'm not resetting this conversation a fifth time, okay? I've given you like so many chances to prove your point. You haven't, and in fact, I've been given evidence that actually disproves your point entirely.
I don't think it does.
I've made it clear I don't like. You've accused me of sweeping. I've made it clear that I take issue with the Acheeto. But with something as serious as this, I know that I have to be careful about it, and I can clearly tell that there is not enough evidence here for me to reach the conclusion that he did anything wrong. So I'm just going to warn you now.
You don't think anything wrong happened?
No.
I don't know how you could possibly come to that conclusion.
Okay, cool. You have to prove that he did do something wrong, which you've yet to do. So
I believe I have.
he actually seems to have taken so many precautions. He interpreted apparently her tweets the same way I did because he's double checking. I saw her like medication tweet that you cited as like just like an edgelord 16-year-old fangirl, and he apparently took it the same way because he's just double checking with her, which he didn't have to do. And he goes to double check with her, and she gives a perfectly coherent, reasonable response that would indicate to any party that's reading this that she's clearly like not insane. She could tell the difference between right and wrong. You've obfuscated having a diagnosed mental health condition with being insane, when obviously the two are very different when we're deciding like someone's ability to consent to, like,
again, I'm not saying that they're the same thing. I'm saying one on top of the other. She is mentally ill, and from everything I have seen and like heard about her, she is insane, right?
Okay, you have yet to demonstrate that. Nothing here indicates insanity. Nothing here indicates insanity. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know how to say this like any nicer, but like you're a fucking idiot. Okay, you were like
we just disagree. Like I said, every single thing, Aiden, every single thing I've said,
stupid fucking people I've ever had a conversation
every single thing I have seen, whether it be things that I've shown you on stream or things that I've seen behind the scenes, have suggested to me that this person is not of sound mind and probably could not have like seen the ramifications of this. Right? This seems probably really bad. I think Acheeto did take advantage of someone, and I genuinely believe that. Okay,
it's over before it even started.
Maybe I didn't provide enough evidence to suggest that, right? But genuinely, my belief is like the same as I joined this conversation with.
You're done. You've proven yourself to be. You've proven yourself to not be able to handle the most basic of fucking allegations, and you've handled this so recklessly, so unbelievably recklessly, that I have no faith in you that you'll ever be able to handle something in regards to commentary and covering someone else ever again. You are unwilling to admit you're wrong. You're unwilling to back down.
Because I don't believe I'm wrong.
You've negated crucial evidence throughout the course of this discussion, and it's reckless.
I did. What are you talking about?
And it's about somebody I don't even fucking like. You're a fucking idiot.
I mean, you can do your whole your whole like content shit, but yeah, I don't know.
How can you not even if you fucked up to begin with, how could you not back down after the fact? And how could you do the thing you just accused Jalen of doing last night? That's fucking crazy. That's literally insane. You're a fucking crazy person. I don't think she's insane. I think you're fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, to repeat myself for like the fifth time, everything like I genuinely believe with everything that I said.
About this last night about the fucking Schrodinger's retard thing, and now you're doing it.
Sure, I mean,
you're over, dude. It's done. It's done. You're over.
Sure, like I said, I agree with everything.
Dude, you know what, dude? Maybe you'll have a shot in the furry community. Take care,
everything that I've said, I wholeheartedly believe in. Okay.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're stupid enough to still believe everything you've said. Take care, dude.
Yeah.
Really, Acheeto, I know you're watching. I'm not talking to you about any of the other controversy. I just want to get your read on this. And I want to apologize to you on Morale's behalf. Get in here. Yo, dude, what's going on? First of all, I'm sorry that I know I've had some issues with you over the past few days, which I obviously still stand by, but that was insane. I'm sorry that allegation was levied against you. It seems like you took like every precaution to make sure that you were not taking advantage of somebody here.
Yeah, how do you know this guy?
I met him approximately a week ago. Apparently I spoke to him last year because I was watching his video on Femios and he joined, and I didn't remember talking to him then. And then we met like a week or two ago. I think it was through Chud Logic server. I think I met him in the Chud Logic server about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. He's in like Chud Logic's community. And he's been like asking me for advice. And we were talking about maybe him getting a potential editing job.
Yeah, just don't platform that guy again.
I'm not. Do you not realize like I contested like every you don't realize
I was watching, I was like, there's no way this guy takes the hate train and stops at the allegations. Like there's no way that's what's about to happen, that he takes like my lyrics fuck up and turns this into like a you know what I'm saying? And then I watched you push back, so I'm like, okay, thank God.
Yeah, I these allegations have been like anytime someone ever brings this up again, just link them this stream because it will show the fucking absurdity of the nature of this allegation.
I mean, he just kept saying taking advantage of, and I just didn't think it like So basically what happened, he also got some details wrong. So what happened was like Adia, I saw like she was making shrines for Turkey Tom on Twitter, and I asked her if she would make one like with like my photos and stuff, because it would be like a funny video or like a segment of a video. I don't even know, but it would just be like funny, like, oh, like a funny bit, right? Like, oh, crazed fan, whatever. And yeah, she didn't end up doing it, but I think that's like this Joanna girl does it. I don't think I asked her to do it. I think she just saw me asking Addie to do it. Addie can join the call and like fact check me on
Yeah,
that.
I'll add
her. But anyway,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Anyway, yeah. I had asked her to like make a video of like the shrine, like a tour of it and whatever, and then I watched it back and I'm like, this just seems a little too unhinged. And that's when I send the message. You can see the drive link. I'm like, okay, like, are you like actually mentally like insane, or like is this like are you like self-aware that this is like insane, or like are you actually kind of nuts? Either way, like I think me just asking that was like enough to like, either way, I'm like, okay, not gonna like use this for content. Like if I'm not sure, I'm just not going to.
Did you end up using it?
No, I didn't.
So you didn't. Oh my god, dude! So you didn't even end up using it. You didn't even end up including it.
Can I just? I remember you posting something about that on your story, on your Instagram story, and I'm like 70% sure I have like literally like screen recordings of you saying that like you don't think you're gonna use it because of that reasoning.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was you're right. You just reminded me. That was a yeah. Either that was a video I did, or someone, you know how on Instagram people can like, there's like a box and they can like put responses. I think someone it was either I did a video unprovoked, or someone had asked like, is there going to be an Acheeto shrine, and then I made a response. But yeah, I never ended up using it like in a video.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it would be like, either way, like mentally ill or not, it's like
people would interpret it wrongly.
Yeah, well, this also isn't like some like vegan teacher, like, you know, she's not like a public figure, so it's like I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I just rubbed me the wrong way. So
no, that's totally valid. So you took, in my mind, because like I also, when he showed me her tweets, I read that as like a semi-ironic like edginess. Like I didn't see that as like the obsessing over Acheeto medication thing. I didn't see that as like her genuinely trying to like claim that she's like so mentally ill she needs to take medication to stop obsessing over you. It looked like a 16-year-old fangirl who was being like a fucking edgelord. And in like, from my perspective, that's how I interpret it, and I assume you probably saw it as like a similar light. And you took every precaution to double check. And then at the end of the day, when you had made sure that okay, maybe this is the case, you didn't even end up using it. So
yeah, well, it's like either way, it's like I also know that like, you know, like what if she like regrets it, and it's just like, then it's like she asked me, hey, can you take this down, and I don't want to have to like not take it down if I don't want to. So it's just like I'm just not going to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And he was saying like, what do you think the worst outcome of this is, Aiden? I said she gets laughed at. She makes herself look stupid.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a risk. That was the worst outcome in my mind of this, and that wasn't even a risk because you didn't even include it. That is, oh my dude. You're vindicated on this one. You're completely vindicated on this one. There's no.
Well, I also saw, I was kind of confused because you were like replying to like this tweet from Adia in February, and you're like, she don't want you, little bro. I'm like, what is this guy doing, bro?
I was memeing on you. I wasn't actually, I didn't know that, I didn't know her age or anything, or like, I was clearly memeing.
Yeah, but like going back to a tweet from February, like for what purpose?
Because you realize people are spreading that around about you right now. That's not from me.
Yeah, I
wasn't
even.
True? I have no idea.
Yeah, I got her in here. The reason I got her in here is to check.
Spreading what? Wait, hold on. Wait. Spreading what? That I'm like a pedophile?
Not that you're a pedophile. Or I guess
like
I guess that's what they might have been insinuating.
Who's they? I feel like I'm kind of entitled to know this.
There's like some small. I have to figure out who sent it to me first, but I heard it like originated. It may have. I don't want to falsely accuse the guy.
I'm so curious.
It may have originated with some guy called Domino. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where it actually originated, but it's been spreading around. I have to figure out who sent it to me.
Yeah,
but then
I don't know.
People were sending it to me on Twitter, and then like just today and yesterday, and then when Aiden asked me to come on soon, I decided to do it, and I just came on and I was like, yeah, no, it was like nothing. Like it was like one interaction. It was just There was nothing.
And I mean, I know people are like mad at me right now because of like the Sniper Wolf video from August, and like I'll take the L on that. Right? People can do whatever they want with that, like shit on me, and I understand that, but I don't know. When it comes to shit like this, it's like I don't really fuck around with this. Like I'm gonna shut this down. Like I'm like, yeah. I mean, like there's a certain line you cross, and it's just like I'm not like I can't.
Of course.
Like that's such an indictment of my character. It's like I'm just not gonna like.
Yeah, that's why I didn't fucking instantly believe this, and he's like, you're being too good faith with this. It's like, yeah, because I don't want to leave any possible room for interpretation when you're making an allegation this damning. And then he's later trying to say, well, I wasn't trying to say he was doing anything malicious. It's like you quite literally said verbatim that he was taking advantage of him, right? Like that, or taking advantage of her.
I don't know what that guy's problem was. Whatever.
He jumped the gun on this. He jumped the gun on something else.
Or something.
He jumped the gun on something else, which we talked about like a few days ago. But I didn't think that one was as bad. But this is just absolutely like absurd, inexcusable. This was completely reckless. And there's a fundamental difference between being reckless in your coverage of Sniper Wolf and taking advantage of, as he put it, his words, not mine, a mentally ill 16-year-old. He kept emphasizing the 16 and mentally ill part. So obviously, like, there's like yeah, obviously there's a big difference. And I think I think that, listen, dude, I don't want you to be falsely accused of some shit like that. So I wasn't gonna just let him spew it. But I'm sorry that was made about you.
It's all good.
And hopefully
and just because I feel like you keep bringing it up, like in terms of the Sniper Wolf thing, like I know you allowed me not to or whatever talk about this, just because like people keep asking me, it's like all I can do now is just try not to make the mistake again, right? It's like people are like respond. It's like I feel like the response is just to not make the mistake. Like what am I like? This is 3 months old. I haven't done the same thing since. Gonna do more research when I do that sort of stuff, and it's like, okay, well then what is there now? People keep saying respond. It's like, okay, well the response is that I've continued to make dozens of videos that have not had that same critical error. I feel like that's sort of the response, in my opinion.
Okay, so you admit you were in the wrong on that. You don't stand by the things in the lyrics debate?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, like I
that's all you can say. I agree.
I think the video is like, yeah, I mean, yeah, what else is there to say? Like, I took the video down, like, yeah, maybe it took more pushing or pulling than it should have, and like, yeah, I was stubborn. I think at the same time, like, the output is what it had to be, and like, okay, like, you can call me cringe for that. You can say like, okay, like, what's the word? I don't know, but it's all right, like, whatever. Acheeto's about to cry. No, bro. I've been up for like 30 hours, bro.
They're one guying you, dude. Listen, I can't hold that against you. If you don't stand by that and you don't do it again, I'm not gonna hold that like again. Like obviously.
Well, what else is there to say? Just don't try not to make them. I mean, I've done 1,000 videos. Like I'm gonna cook myself every now and then, right? And just try not to do it, and try not to make the same mistake.
Yeah, that's yeah.
What else are you supposed to do, And people say it's like the problem with the slop daily grind. It's like, well, just just try not to do that.
Yeah, you made a mistake, but if you can acknowledge that, I'm not gonna beat you up over it forever. I was pretty hard on you, because what I had read, it didn't look like you were like.
But you also said something that was kind of upsetting. You were like, I went into this neutral. I'm starting to despise this guy. I'm like, well, that's kind of unfortunate. I don't know why he despises me.
Because I thought you were still standing by that take based on what I saw in the lyrics debate. And just so you know, when I probably okay, so if you don't stand by that, I can't hold it against you. That debate looked really fucking bad. I'll admit that, and it was making me be like, "Oh, this guy's like completely reckless."
It's true. Well, I think it looks. He just uploaded it, right? But that was back in I think August or July or something, which isn't to like. I think I don't know, but like, not to say what am I trying to say here? It's like I don't know. It's like if I don't think he was doing this on purpose, like uploading the call to make it seem more recent than it actually was. But if that was the outcome, like, did you think that was a very recent chat that I had with him?
I didn't think it was recent. I thought it was like a month or two ago, but I didn't see any like formal concession. So I didn't know if this was like something you still stood by or not. If you like when I watched that, and admittedly, I was going to save the second debate for another stream. I saw the first one. It seemed like you genuinely didn't realize what you did wrong. which was like making me like what I didn't even despise the initial mistake.
The whole thing though is like I think the angle people were kind of going with, and like I can see why they were going with it, but it's just unfortunate because that's just not where what's it called? Like that's just not like not kind of like when people were like, oh, he cares more about money than the truth and whatever. It's like that's the conclusion you reach. That's the conclusion you reach. I understand. I mean, it's just sort of like it's like you either believe that or you don't, and it's just like that's a character judgment, and all I can do is just try not to what's it called? Like have people give them the resources to draw that conclusion again if I don't want them to, right? So
Yep. So when I use the term loosely, but yeah, I haven't made it a secret about my thoughts on it.
Oh yeah. Also, what the fuck what were you doing when you're like looking at my try not to laugh video, and then you're like, his comforter moved, or this isn't over 2 days. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, the video took me 2 days to do. Like, what's going on?
Okay, there's no way you're actually mad about that, dude. You literally you make fun of people for a living, bro. I'm on stream. I'm entertaining people. I'm like pointing out that your bed isn't made. Like, I'm sure you can handle that. I'm sure you can handle that.
No, not that. But I said in the video, I'm back. It took me 2 days, and you're like, wait, it didn't take him 2 days. He just changed his shirt. Look, his comforter didn't move. I'm like, is he really trying to like tell me people that I'm lying based on that? Like,
I was obviously like semi joking. I mean, I don't know, like the comforter was like in the same position.
Obviously semi joking.
Wait. Do you? Okay. If you rewatch that clip, that entire segment is like me like trolling, right? Obviously, the comforter was in the exact same position, so I was questioning like, oh, did he just like change his shirt or something? Because the comforter literally is in the exact same position on your bed. So I said either he doesn't sleep. I said this is what I said verbatim. Either he sleeps on the floor, or this video was filmed on the same day. So I don't know if you sleep on the floor in a different bed or something. I don't think that was like a crazy allegation. I don't know.
No, it's not. I skimmed through the stream, and it just kind of seemed like you were like nitpicking, but
I was.
Right.
It's content, bro. It's content. I feel like I'm doing what you do to everybody else. Obviously, when I like say I despise you, I don't actually fucking despise. I was kind of pissed off at how that debate went. It's not like unforgivable in my eyes. And okay. I don't know. I feel like I was just doing to you what you kind of do to everybody else. I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Okay, I mean, fair enough if that's how you if that's how you see things.
How do you see it?
Well, how do I see what?
Like, how do you see what I did? Like, do you disagree with my like
the stream?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just for the way I saw it was like it's just okay. This thing I had with this call, whatever, it's like months old. And you just somehow see it, and instead, and then it's like you took that and then made the stream about it, and then you kind of like transitioned the content into like, also this video sucks that he made, and this video sucks that he made. And it's like, okay, like, you can do what you want, but again, like I don't know, it just felt like a little overkill.
Yeah,
so again,
so I have two goals as a streamer, obviously to cover stuff and to entertain people, and I try to cover stuff pretty accurately too. I didn't just dig up this thing with you on lyrics. Nick was covering this on his stream. I think I covered this after Nick had covered it, so I was even late to this story.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I understand that it's entertaining.
It was being talked about. And I thought that it would be an appropriate, because it was recent, I thought it would be an appropriate topic to discuss on my stream. With that, we didn't have a lot of content. I thought your new video was kind of cringe, and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll poke fun at this. I don't actually hate you because you made a bad video, but like I just thought it was kind of funny, and I did to you, like I feel like what you guys do to like everyone, so I didn't think it was like that big of a deal.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool, chill. All right, well, Acheeto did not take advantage of a mentally ill 16-year-old. Morale.
Hello?
How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I wanted to have this conversation with you because I heard that you had some concerns about me not talking to you again or something, but also that your opinion might have changed a little bit. I just want to hear you out. What do you think about what happened last night?
For the most part, I still believe like I'm correct in what I said. I just think the way I got there was really autistic, and I don't think anybody could reasonably take what I was providing and what I was saying and come to the conclusion that I had. I was using really, really stupid points. The way I was arguing is something like, if I were to see that, like if I were to see someone argue like what I did last night, I would be like making fun of them and fucking laughing at them, and I probably wouldn't be taking them seriously.
Okay. So, just to ask you outright, was the trolling thing a cope? Like when midway through the debate you claim you were trolling, or was that real?
No, I mean, I went into the conversation because the extent to what I thought of this was that it was like really weird, and like it was just something to make fun of, and that was it. So I came into the discussion like playing it up and like yelling and shouting and trying to be entertaining. I didn't realize how serious you were taking it until I stopped and was like, okay, let's restart, because I realized you were taking this way more seriously than I was. And if I was like shit posting the entire time and like being really extreme with what I was saying and stuff, it probably wasn't going to go anywhere. I definitely understand how it was seen as a cope, though.
Yeah, but do you understand the issue when you're addressing allegations of this caliber? Why throwing in jokes in between might not be a smart idea, or playing up your position? Do you understand why that might not be a good idea when addressing allegations like this?
Yeah, I just at the time I didn't see this as like a super egregious allegation or anything. Like I saw this at most something to like laugh at, like it was weird and cringe. That's it.
Okay. Do you think it's egregious to take advantage of a 16-year-old girl?
Probably, but I used really fucky wording, and I probably wouldn't agree with that today.
So is your position now that he did not take advantage of a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, I don't think what he did was like good or okay, but I probably couldn't think of like a word to describe it. So probably just like really weird is where I stand.
Okay, so you
shouldn't have raised the goalpost that high. That was probably bad.
So you retract the taking advantage of a 16-year-old girl claim?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right. So you admit that I agreed with you that it's weird, right?
Yeah, the big disagreement for me was you saying that it was a nothing burger. I looked at that and was like, oh, he just thinks this is like nothing and like this is a mute point or whatever, and I just disagreed with that.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth making a video on.
Yeah, I would agree.
But you're still making your Acheeto video, correct?
I'm definitely thinking about it. This was not going to be like a significant point in it. Like this was going to be like a 1 minute or maybe like a 30-second joke or something. I think this is on the totem pole of what I think Acheeto's done. This is like the least bad thing. I definitely was playing it up, and then I didn't back down when I fucking raised the goalpost. Okay,
so if this was going to be a 30-second joke, how come you came onto my stream prepared with like several screenshots, information about this? I mean, it seems like a lot for a 30-second joke.
Well, I wasn't prepared with them. I had to go like out of my way to try to find what I was talking about. That's why just in the multiple DMs, I haven't compiled these or anything, which I should have. Why were you gathering them? Why were you gathering them to begin with? Because I was trying to see if this was like something serious or like something super like evil or egregious or whatever. But as of last night, when you spoke to me, the intention always was this was going to be a 30-second joke. This was like, maybe I'm being hyperbolic. This is not going to be like a serious segment or anything. I just think this is like weird and cringe, and that was the extent of it. There's like way more I would rather criticize Acheeto on than the than this. I don't think this is like super insane or whatever. I was definitely playing it up, and I just didn't back down. What's the word I'm looking for? Retconning here, or like going back and rewriting what happened? Like, is this how you wish? Is this what you wish you did, or was this actually the case? Was this actually your intent at the time? Because when you joined here last night to talk with me about this, the way you were talking about it was as if this was like a pretty serious, egregious allegation. I mean, now you're saying it would just be like a quick throwaway gag, but I don't know like what to take with that claim when like whether you said you compiled them or not, you were able to present several screenshots. You apparently knew a bunch of information about the girl. You were like using all sorts of like pretty extreme like adjectives to describe this. So I don't know if I like entirely buy that this was just like a little bit of a weird cringe thing that was going to be like a quick joke, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could necessarily convince you then. I don't know. That was the intention. I came on super strong, assuming like it wouldn't be taken super seriously. I didn't realize the language that I was using would be taken like towards the like predatory route.
So just ask now, this was never going to be an actual point in your video.
It might have been included, or it probably was going to be included, but this wasn't going to be like a hard hitting point. There was like a list of things I was going to talk about before.
Okay, I just want you to answer like as straightforward as possible. So you just said it's a 30-second joke, implying it wasn't going to be like a component of like your point, like it wasn't going to be a part of your points in the video. So at no point in time was this allegation ever going to be an actual point to be used against Acheeto, like a significant point within your video, correct?
I don't think so, no.
No? When you see, or is it no, or you don't think so? Like, are you pretty sure that's not gonna, that it wasn't? Or
I mean, I can't, like, from my perspective, I don't think it would have been used like that, but I can't interpret like how people would have viewed it.
But was it ever your intention to use it as a serious point at any point while in the process of like researching this video, which you've been doing for months?
It's been like a couple of weeks. This isn't, but no, I don't think this is ever going to be like a serious point that I was going to try to fucking nail down or anything. At least as of like recent. When I first found out about it, I thought it was way more serious. But like my mind has changed. I've known about this the shrine shit for like probably months at this point, but it wasn't a part, like I didn't decide I was going to make a video until I found out more. Not related to the shrine shit, related to other things.
So I won't be presented with any information later that like reveals you actually had the intention of utilizing these allegations as like an actual serious point in your video, right?
I don't believe so, no. Like it was, to be clear, it was going to be included in the video, but I wasn't going to like fucking nail in on them.
Okay. You're like being like pretty like you're not like being super straightforward with the way you're answering here, right? Like
I'm trying, dude. I don't know.
This was either a point in your video or it wasn't. I mean,
it was going to be included in the video. It was not going to be like a point that I was
30-second throwaway gag, right?
You're digging way too much into that.
But that's what you said. Like that's what you said. That's your wording, not mine.
I understand it's my wording, but you're digging way too like much into it. I don't know like how long I haven't even fucking written the video yet. I think I've written like the intro and that's it. Like I'm still trying to gather fucking everything that I want to talk about and verify it all and make sure it's like good to use and good to talk about.
Okay, but do you understand the implication you're giving off when you say I was using this point as a quick 30-second joke? It's like this was never going to be a serious thing I was going to use against him. I didn't really take this all that seriously, and it was just going to be like a throwaway gag. It wasn't going to be a fundamental major part of my video. That's the implication you give off with a statement like that. So I'm not going to find any information later that these allegations were supposed to be a major component of your video. I think that's a pretty straightforward, like fair question.
I feel like I've been answering it. No, this was not going to be like a major point that I was gonna try to like hit hard on.
Okay. Cool. All right. So before you had said to me that you concede on the taking advantage on the verbiage of like taking advantage of this person, correct?
Yeah, for the most part. I think it's more than like weird, but I probably can't think of a word. So it's like no use trying to like argue that point anymore, I feel.
So what do you mean by weird? I just want to clarify because I think we have like different meanings of weird.
I don't know if I could define weird for you. I'm gonna be real, dude. I just think it was weird.
Like if I'm walking down the street and like I see a dude in like a fucking clown costume slip on a banana peel, I think that's pretty fucking weird. But it seems like the way you use weird in this context is to have some more like nefarious meaning. So I'm trying to get to, because the wording here is very slippery, I'm trying to get to the bottom, I guess, of like what you're trying to say. I know that like you have an idea formed in your head that can only be expressed to me by like the words you choose. And maybe this is just a case of you not picking the best words. So I'm trying to specify it here to figure out what you may have meant instead. If this was not really what you meant, or yeah.
Like I said, man, I don't know how else I can explain it to you? I think what Acheeto did around this situation or whatever was pretty weird. I don't know how to define the word weird for you at this time though.
Interesting. So if I was to see DMs from like an hour ago, where you still say that he took advantage of a 16-year-old, I wouldn't see DMs like that, right?
I've DM'd Blaster saying that, but again, this isn't like, there's probably better words to use to describe it.
But I thought you no longer stand by that verbiage.
Yeah, again, like I said, I don't think this, like, that's the correct word to use.
Well, you seem to be using it an hour ago, like seeming pretty smug about like standing by all these points.
Dude, I just didn't want to argue with fucking Blaster. The only reason he was trying to talk to me was because he's upset about like some previous drama that we had an argument about or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about that drama.
Sure.
So you two were gonna collab on a Chugga Conroy video, right?
Yeah. I looked more into the situation, and I thought about it a lot more, and I kind of realized after 14 years, it's probably not worth pursuing something like this. I don't think this is at all comparable to what Acheeto did, and I think suggesting that is probably really ignorant. And then even past that, this is something that happened months ago versus the Chugga Conroy situation, which happened like a decade and a half ago.
When you say comparable, you think what Acheeto did was worse?
No, I don't think there's any way to compare any of these or like put them on a scale of like better or worse.
But you, like in the DMs, you're like, they're both weird situations. So like, do you like, if you were to rate them, like on which one would be like more of a moral bad in this scenario, or like which one you think is more egregious at the moment? Which one would you say?
Probably Chugga Conroy, but again, I don't think you can compare these two situations. I think they're wildly different.
I agree they're different, right? But a comparison, right? When we're talking about like the moral implications of an action, like the two scenarios don't need to be identical, right? It wouldn't be a comparison if you're comparing two identical things, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, do you still stand by the take that I was insane for disagreeing with you?
A little bit. I think it's probably, I don't think this is like a nothing burger. I think it's definitely weird. But I also don't know, like, I guess like to get into it, you'd have to fucking define like what nothing burger means, I guess. But so if it's like, literally just like, if you just don't care about it, I think this is weird, but that's like it. I don't know.
I want to be nice here. Is like English like a second language of yours? Or I'm serious, like, is English your first language? Hello?
Dude, I don't know what you want.
I'm asking, I think that's a pretty straightforward question.
Take your wildest guess and we can run with that, dude.
I don't know. I don't want to assume. Okay, so I'll take that as a yes. Sure. All right, cool. So would you agree that a clown slipping on a banana peel in the middle of the road is weird?
Sure, dude.
Sure. So what Acheeto did, you agreed that has like different moral implications than a clown slipping on a banana peel, right?
Probably.
So is there a better word you could use for Acheeto that would differentiate him from the clown that went and slipped on the banana peel?
No. I look at that situation and what Acheeto was saying to this girl and what happened, and I definitely think it is weird.
But the descriptor for both, let's say you're telling me about both these situations and you want to make it clear that both have like different implications. Is there a different word you could use?
What was your goal with this call?
I'm trying to narrow down what you actually think, because apparently you didn't express
I feel like I'm being extremely clear with my opinions on this.
Apparently you didn't express it well yesterday, so I'm trying to narrow it down here, what weird means in this context. Okay? The term weird is so fucking vague that it could be used to describe any number of things with varying moral implications. So can you give me a little more than weird? What do you actually think about this?
You Dude, I think it's fucking weird. I think it was bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Is English a second language?
Okay, Aiden, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be able to define weird for you. I'm not going to be able to define words for you in this call.
Pick a different fucking word. Pick a different word.
I don't know what word
really
could be used to describe this. And I'm pretty sure if I just picked a word, I'm pretty sure if I just picked a word, you would fucking like definition fag about it.
Just pick a different word.
Weird, dude. I think it was fucking weird.
Oh my god, do you only speak? Is this the only fucking word that you know? Is this the only word you know? I'm trying to specify.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Because at this point, like,
you're running. So you're running. You still stand by your position, but you can't explain it. You can't explain it, and you can't defend it.
What do you mean? What?
I'm gonna ask in plain fucking English. What does the word weird? Tell me what weird means in this context.
What does weird mean in this context? Like the fifth time, I don't think I'm going to be able to define weird for you on the spot. This is not something I've had like a fucking introspective thinking about, okay?
Do you not know how to like explain something?
Dude, I've been trying.
Well, no, you're not. I'm like, can you give me something else besides weird? Because I just explained to you how the term weird is such a vague term that can be used to describe a number of situations with varying moral implications. And I want to narrow down what you really think about this. So I'm asking you, hey, can you maybe like use a different descriptor or elaborate a little bit in regards to like what your feelings are relating to this situation? And you're essentially refusing to do that. You stand by it, but you can't explain it.
I can't. Dude. I don't know what to tell you. The best word I can possibly fathom for this situation is that it was weird, and that's like it. Like, I probably don't encourage like extreme parasocial behavior from a fan that's like fucking mentally ill. I think that was probably weird. I don't think he's like a predator for doing so. I don't think it's anything past weird. I don't think there was any like evil, malicious, anything else happening. I just looked at this situation and I'm like, oh, Acheeto's a fucking weirdo. Like, this probably isn't something I would do, and this is probably something I would like advocate against. That's like the extent of it.
And do you think the term weird is morally neutral?
Dude, I don't fucking know. What, like, morally neutral? Who cares? He's a fucking weirdo. That's like the extent of it.
Can you answer my question?
I've never thought about if the word weird is morally neutral. No.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, just as I explained to you before, like the term weird can be described, it can be used as an equal descriptor for situations that have zero moral implication. It's just a term to describe something that's like odd, but odd doesn't necessarily mean bad. So I want to know if you think that this is bad or not.
Yeah, I probably think it was bad.
Okay, you think it was bad. And you think it was bad, why?
Because I think playing into anything like what was showcased here is probably not something that you as a creator should do.
And when you say showcased here, you mean like baking the cake and building the shrine?
Sure. If you want to boil it down to that, sure.
Is there, well, when you say boil it down to that, there's an implication that there's something else present that I'm not addressing. So can you elaborate?
I mean, he made jokes about her not taking meds. Like, this girl was very publicly mentally ill. Like, I think there was a lot more that you're not. Like, it seems like you're straw manning or whatever, right?
I'm straw manning by by presenting like a weaker version of the argument, even though I'm like addressing like the exact argument you gave me last night. Now the screenshots of her, when he's telling her don't take your meds, that's a joke. You agree that's a joke, right?
Sure, but it's a joke that could be taken seriously on her end.
Well, she didn't take it seriously.
How he even found that post is probably like even strange, right? Because the account was private, it wasn't tagged. Like,
it's strange that he like follows her,
and then he like saw that post and was like, "No, don't take your meds or whatever." Like, probably not something you should do.
So earlier today, I had, and I'm going to get Queeman in here to discuss this in a little bit later, because I kind of conceded where I shouldn't have, and I'm going to kind of argue about this with Queeman if he's still awake.
In this call or on your own?
On my own, afterwards.
Okay.
But this tweet very easily could be interpreted as a joke. And sure, there is and when you say, well, it could have been interpreted as serious, any joke could be interpreted as serious because you have the potential to be making that joke to somebody who's autistic. You have the potential to be making that joke. Any joke could be interpreted as serious, right? Do you agree with that?
Sure.
Do you agree that when you were calling Cam Nuggets a pedophile, somebody could easily interpret that as being serious?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Now, she was literally in live chats today. I'm gonna have to go get a copy of the log, so I don't expect you to necessarily believe this one, but she was in live chats today, like, she clearly could tell this was a joke. She clearly could tell this was a joke. I don't understand what the problem is here.
Sure, I don't know.
So you don't, so if I interpret it as a joke, and she interpreted it as a joke, and he interpreted it as a joke, as evident by the fact that he was later following up to clarify whether or not this was serious a month later, which you had cropped out of the DMs, then what's the problem?
Dude, like I said, we might just disagree. Like
That's such a cop-out. That's such a cop-out, Dave. Why can't you just admit
I
you're
have
wrong?
a personal issue with this. I look at this and my personal fucking moral whatever, like I look at that and I'm like, this is probably weird and probably bad. I don't know.
So you have a position that you cannot defend.
Sure, which is why I'm backing down. This isn't something I'm going to advocate for publicly anymore.
Sure, but you're still in people's DMs saying he took advantage of a 16-year-old as like recently as an hour ago.
Because he's coming to me and fucking like freaking out in my DMs.
So why don't you but wait, just because some guy you're friends with is in your DMs trying to argue with you, why does that mean you then give them a version of your take that you now admit you don't even believe anymore? What kind of logic is that?
Dude, I just don't give a shit. I don't know.
You don't get,
I don't know. Like dude, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try to make this sound like it's not a cop out, but I don't see this as like a massive issue or as big of an issue as you do.
Okay, do you not think taking advantage of a 16-year-old is a massive issue?
That probably is an issue, yeah.
That is a massive issue, and that's what you, as of an hour ago, believed what Acheeto had done, correct?
I believe he was taking advantage of a parasocial relationship, yeah.
So how is it not a massive issue in your eyes?
Because I think there's definitely levels to it. It's not like a blanket statement or one all be all.
Okay, and why would this scenario like differ and make it not a massive issue?
Because if we look at what actually came out of this parasocial relationship, it wasn't anything too egregious or too insane, right? But you can still look at what like occurred and probably deem that, yeah, this is probably like bad, right? So like there could be a worse event that took place here or whatever, but that just didn't happen. Like this wasn't super egregious, nothing super insane happened. But like based on what was shown, like something could have happened. So like I just think like in any aspect, or the could have happened thing is retarded, but I think in any aspect, like encouraging or allowing a parasocial relationship or an obsessed fan to act this way is like probably bad, and I just don't agree with it.
I mean, like she seems to have a pretty level-headed interpretation of what had happened. I don't think like she was in people's chats today arguing about this or talking about it, so I don't really understand, I guess, from your perspective, like what did any bad thing occur as a result of this in your mind?
Probably just the farming of a parasocial relationship that was unhealthy. That's about it.
And when you say the farming of a parasocial relationship, I mean, by the way, I just want to clarify, did he ask her to make the shrine?
Not that I know of, no.
So Acheeto did not ask this girl to make the shrine?
No, but he saw it and he encouraged the behavior.
When you say encouraged, what do you mean? Like he interacted with it?
Yeah, DMing her, asking her to take more videos, continuing to interact with her past that, following her on multiple social medias, stuff like that.
So how come yesterday I clearly, like when I'm reiterating your argument, I clearly say he asked her to make a shrine and bake a cake, and you like never correct that? And like
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
That if I led you to believe that, then that is 100% my bad. I apologize.
Okay. So he didn't even ask for this shrine.
That is, as far as I'm aware, yes, I believe so. I think he's just encouraging the behavior. That's probably pretty bad.
How did he encourage it?
By interacting with her, by following her on multiple social medias, by continuing to talk to her like months later. Like this girl was very obviously like obsessed and mentally unwell, and I don't think he should have encouraged it.
So your problem isn't even that he. This is actually, I'm sorry. This is, and take back everything I said yesterday because it's actually like 100 times worse than what I thought. So your problem here now is not that somebody was asked to make a shrine, but because somebody did make a shrine without being asked to do so, and he talked to them. That's your problem? That he just talked to this person?
No, my problem is that he encouraged the parasocial and unhinged behavior.
What did he do to encourage it?
I believe I've already explained this. You're taking what I'm saying. Hold on, Aiden. You're taking what I'm saying and like making a weaker version of it and repeating it and asking if it's correct.
How did I do that?
Did you come here and like what was your goal with this conversation? Because I'm really confused at this point.
I'm just trying to figure out what you believe, dude, and it's really
I feel like I've made
hard.
it. I feel like I've made it really clear.
You're like the fucking Riddler of debating, dude. It's like trying to figure out what you mean. It's like deciphering a riddle.
You're asking me to define weird. Like dude, I don't know what to tell you.
Or use a different descriptor if you can't define it, or elaborate. I mean, someone who speaks the fucking English language should be able to do all of these things. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Can you define the word weird? What?
Yeah, I already defined it in this conversation. I don't know if you're not listening.
I must have earplugs in. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, I said something that like I thought, or this is my definition or the colloquial definition. I'm sure this might not be like the formal Oxford dictionary definition, but something like odd or unusual or like out of the ordinary. And I just explained how under that, do you disagree with that definition?
I was agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So under that definition, that could be used to describe any number of things without that are not morally bad or have no like moral value to them, like a clown slipping on a banana peel on the sidewalk.
So if it's a very broad definition, where does the issue lie? I suppose.
That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, can you use a different descriptor? Can you elaborate on what you mean by weird? Can you elaborate a little more? Besides that, this is simply unusual, which now he didn't even ask for the shrine, so I'm not even sure this is weird. Now we found out he didn't ask for the shrine, so I don't think this is. I don't even know if this can be described as weird anymore.
Yeah, I mean, encouraging this behavior, I probably think is like weird and bad.
But how did he encourage it?
So if you have like a really parasocial fan, right, and they're doing like really unhinged shit on social media and trying to get your attention, and you interact with them or give them the validation of a creator who they're parasocial with interacting with them, that's probably encouraging the behavior.
So your problem is that he talked to her.
My problem is, again, for maybe the third time, is that he encouraged the parasocial behavior.
Encouraged it by talking to her?
Among a few other things, but yeah.
What are the other things?
He followed her on multiple social medias, went to multiple social medias, DMs across multiple social medias. Like if you're an unhealthy parasocial fan, this is like the dream, right? Like this is probably what you want to happen if you're like obsessed with a creator in this way.
So taking advantage of a 16-year-old in this context is he followed and talked to a fan, correct?
Sure did.
Do you disagree with that?
I just don't. I feel like if we argue that we're just not going to get anywhere. I don't know.
This is like complete cowardice. You came in here to get on me yesterday. You're all shouty, all fucking giddy, saying I was sweeping for Acheeto, fucking screaming, calling me an insane person.
Yes, but now that I know you want to like have a serious discussion, I'm not going to fucking spurg out. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but why can't you like respond? Why can't you answer? Why do you do the sarcastic sure, like the fucking
because we're definitely not going to get anywhere by fucking arguing. I think it's weird. I can't define the word weird. I think it's bad. I probably can't convince you that it's bad, right? We're probably not going to get anywhere with this way of discussing. So sure, if that's the way you view it, if you think that he was just talking to her, I probably cannot convince you otherwise. You're probably set in stone.
I'm just trying to decipher what you mean. Like, then maybe we can like figure out if we agree or not. If I could first like maybe figure out what you mean, but like I can't really.
I don't think we don't need to disagree or agree. I don't think it needs to. I don't think that is a necessity.
Well, when you're publicly levying like serious allegations against somebody, and do you not think like the way you worded it yesterday was like pretty serious?
Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time. Like I said, I came in like trying to shout, be entertaining. I didn't realize how serious you would have taken this, which is why again, like midway through, I was like, okay, let's stop. Let's try to come back.
Wait, when you're talking to a public audience, why does it matter how I'm gonna take it? You know, you know that you were saying that somebody.
Because if you take it really seriously and you display this as a insanely serious situation, right? Like
I displayed it as serious.
I believe so. You displayed it as way more serious than I did.
Okay, is there any scenario where somebody takes advantage of a 16-year-old girl and it's not serious?
Like I said, I don't think it's a blanket statement. I think there's levels to it.
But okay, so there are scenarios where somebody takes advantage of a 16-year-old girl and it's not serious. In your eyes?
Not as serious as it goes. As
not
it could
serious. Be. Not serious. That's not no. If it's a spectrum, then anything lower than that, of course, won't be as serious as it could be. That's how a fucking spectrum works. I'm saying, are there situations where somebody can take advantage of a 16-year-old girl and it's not serious?
Probably to the point of like it's negligible, sure. Which I think this is one of those points.
So not serious.
Sure, dude. Again, I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with just like arguing this entire time.
Why do you keep saying that? I'm trying to establish what you fucking mean. You're the one that levied the allegation.
Okay, we are at a point where very obviously I'm not able to give you definitions of words that you want to establish what I mean in your head, right?
No, you're refusing to.
I don't know. I'm not dude. I don't know how to define the word weird for you. I'm sorry.
You don't need to. I'm not. Just pick a different word. Give me a sentence.
I don't think there's any other word that I have tried very, very clearly to explain my feelings on this situation.
You have not at all, dude.
Then I apologize. I don't know what to tell you.
Here's a better one. Here's a better one. Here's a better one. It's weird. Why is it weird?
Probably because encouraging parasocial behavior is like weird and bad, and like encouraging this was probably weird and bad. And I looked at that, and in my head, I was like, "Oh, this is weird and probably bad. I don't like that."
Okay, so you do admit. Okay, so bad. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we've got a different word.
I have used the word weird and bad throughout this entire conversation.
Yeah. So you agree that like the weirdness of this. There's like a moral implication of this, that it's morally wrong.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Maybe,
but you just said it was bad. I'm very confused.
I used weird and bad, so like both, probably.
Okay, so it is bad in your mind.
In my mind, it is bad. I've already explained why it's bad. Do you need me to repeat it?
So what you're doing is, and I don't like when I ask you to explain. Like if you, for example, tell me my ice cream cone. The fucking ice cream man gave me ice cream without a cone, and that was bad. And then I ask you, okay, well, why is that bad? And then you respond with, oh, because he gave me ice cream without a cone. I
personally think that encouraging parasocial relationships of unhinged fans like this is bad. I don't like it. I personally just don't like it. I don't know if I could explain to you on like a moral spectrum why it's bad. It's definitely me moral fagging, and I probably shouldn't have done it.
So if somebody like, let's say there's coverage of this situation in somebody else's video, and they were to describe this as Acheeto like followed and replied to a fangirl of his publicly, or Acheeto replied, followed, and messaged a fangirl of his, would there be anything inaccurate with that description?
Probably not. I think it's relatively vague, but I'm sure.
But you agree that's what occurred here, right?
I think it's pretty vague.
Is there any extra context that must be added that it's missing?
Probably. I've been trying to reiterate everything that I think about this entire time. I don't know how you're somehow missing it.
It just sounds like you've described the exact situation I've just explained to you, but you're using entirely different wording. It's not like there are additional details that are being left out.
This girl was like very obviously unhinged, very obviously mentally unwell. She was making jokes about it constantly, right? And then Acheeto like encouraged the parasocial behavior, and I think that that's weird and bad, like I said.
Okay, so this girl made edgy jokes about her fucking simping for Acheeto, and he replied to her and interacted with her.
Again, I feel like you're downplaying it, but if you really want to go with that, sure.
What's the down? I'm trying to establish what's being downplayed.
I have dude. This is why, again, I think we should just move on. Like, numerous times I've tried to explain why I think you're downplaying what happened, but I just don't think it's sticking. So, it might just be a disagreement. I don't know.
Wait a minute. So are you aware that like DMs you presented me with yesterday about Acheeto? Like, are you aware that some of the DMs you presented with me about Acheeto and this like situation were not even from Acheeto? They're from Sensitive Society.
As far as I know, I think only one of them could be from Sensitive Society, and it's where Acheeto is messaging someone else. But maybe I'd be proven wrong. I don't know.
So you didn't even verify. You didn't even verify these messages were actually like from Acheeto.
Like I said, this is why I haven't even started writing the video. I'm trying to like verify everything that I'm going to be talking about.
So why come onto my stream and get mad at me and try and debate me on this publicly when you're not researched on these allegations?
Because I just thought it was like a weird, cringe, funny thing. I thought it was going to be like a laugh. I didn't assume you would take it like super seriously. I've already said that.
How can I not take it seriously when you're coming in here saying he took advantage of a mentally ill, schizophrenic 16-year-old girl? Like, you're saying I'm the one wording it seriously? In what wording is that funny? In what wording is that, I took advantage of a parasocial, mentally ill 16-year-old girl? How am I the one making that out to be serious? That's literally the wording that you chose, and the wording you took issue with when I didn't fucking reiterate it like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, maybe my wording was bad. I don't know.
So how am I the one who made this serious?
Because my intentions with the conversation were not to be like extremely serious with it. I think I've already stated that. I feel like we're retreading a lot of ground.
Oh my god, we literally did a redo of the fucking conversation where you said, okay, let's do this seriously now, like verbatim, and then we had the conversation all over again, and nothing changed in the second conversation.
Okay, to be clear, I think this is like weird, bad. I thought it was like a funny situation to that extent, right? I don't think this was something super extreme. I don't think there was any form of predation going on. I definitely came into the call trying to be entertaining and try to be funny and trying to like spurg for content or whatever. And when I realized you were taking it super seriously, I definitely tried to tone it down.
But then after that happened and we continued this conversation on for what, another 20 minutes, you reiterated all of the same points and nothing. I
tried to be more clear with them, but
yeah, and serious, right? So nothing about the way you were like, you're saying now, oh, this was just a joke, a little bit of a funny thing, like as if this was like something we could just poke fun at. But that is not how it was worded here, like to me yesterday. That is not how it was worded to me at all. That's not. I don't think anyone interpreted it like that.
Then yeah, if that is the case, then I will own that. I apologize that I used like incorrect wording that I couldn't back up.
So if I call something that's like funny, something that you admit is just like a funny, like weird thing, a nothing burger, would that like descriptor be inappropriate?
I don't think this is a nothing burger, like I've already stated.
So like when somebody uses the word like nothing burger in the context of drama, what do you think they mean?
That it's nothing, that it doesn't matter, there's like no point in talking about it, something like that maybe.
So if something's just like weird and funny, why would the term nothing burger, like under your definition, not be an appropriate descriptor?
Because I think it is not a nothing burger. I don't think this is not something you should not talk about or whatever, right? I don't know.
Do you think in this context the term nothing burger means just saying you should never talk about? The term nothing burger means like, is this like worth like condemnation for, or is this just a weird, like if it's just saying funny to laugh at? I don't think there's
any yeah, maybe we disagree on the term nothing burger then. I don't think there's like any form of condemnation in the term nothing burger.
Yeah, there isn't. You're right. I'm not condemning it.
Did you not just try to imply that with the term nothing burger there's like an implication of condemning someone?
No.
Yeah, that's okay. That's my bad for reading it that way.
Okay. I don't know. Well, yeah, no, normally the implication with the term nothing burger is that it's like not saying it's not used to condemn somebody. Like if I say this situation is a nothing burger, like that doesn't mean this situation should be, is like a bad thing. That means this situation is like not worth like seriously like using against somebody or seriously covering in like a drama coverage context, right? If something is like kind of weird and funny, laughing at it, sure, you could, like, it's a joke, it's funny, you could poke fun at it and laugh at it. And like that's kind of what it sounds like you described this as, which I think like nothing more would be an appropriate descriptor for it, unless you really don't think this was just a little funny thing, and you actually think that something more serious was going on here, which is what I think your original claim was, even though you're trying to claim now that was not your claim.
I feel like, dude, we're just. Do you want me to like repeat everything I've said so far? Because
no, I don't think we're gonna reach an agreement on this one. I think you've like literally just like smeared someone and can't defend it. And
I don't believe I've smeared someone. No.
Okay, but you just admitted that you said on stream they took advantage of a 16-year-old girl. Now you said you don't even believe that anymore.
I mean, I believe it. So like, again, I think there's like levels to it, right? It's probably really heavy language that I shouldn't have used like on a public live stream, right? If you were going to take this like insanely seriously. But I think it's like, it is taking advantage of like a parasocial fan and their like ability, like their obsessiveness or something.
So is your position that it wasn't, is your position now that it wasn't taking advantage of, or it technically still is taking advantage of, but that wasn't like the right terminology?
There's probably better terminology to use. I probably cannot think of better terminology to use on this stream though.
But you think that terminology is still applicable to this scenario, that he took advantage of a 16-year-old girl?
I think the lowest level of taking advantage of, yes, because I think it's really apparent that he took advantage of like a parasocial fan and her like obsessiveness. He saw that, he DM'd her, he encouraged the behavior. I think, to me at least, that's very apparent.
So when somebody takes advantage of somebody else, would you agree there's something they're trying to get out of it?
Maybe by definition, sure, but I don't know if I believe that, like, in just my personal opinion, maybe. But I can just work on definitions or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means. I genuinely do not know what that means.
Like, I don't think you need to get something to take advantage of someone, right? I don't think there needs to be necessarily like a goal there. But like in the case of Acheeto, what he was getting was obviously either like a piece of content that he was going to include in a video, which he did not end up using, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, or he simply just got like attention for it. He like farmed this parasocial fan for like attention or something like that, maybe.
Sure. So yesterday, yesterday you were able to present me with like various hypotheticals. So I'm gonna ask you, can you give me a hypothetical where someone takes advantage of someone else and is not trying to get anything out of it?
Probably not.
What do you mean? You were like the hypothetical guy yesterday.
I think you asking me to create one out of thin air is very different from me like creating one under my own will. I don't know if I can create a hypothetical on the spot like that.
So there's no hypothetical you can think of where somebody takes advantage of someone else and isn't trying to get something out of it.
Maybe it was poor wording. I think you can get something like that's so negligible that it doesn't like really matter, but the term of like taking advantage of probably is still applicable.
To use unfairly for personal gain, to exploit sexually, to impose on, to ask for, expect more than is fair, reasonable from, to make good use of. So yeah, and there is a goal with taking advantage of, and like
yeah, it was probably just like the either content or just attention or something like that, like I already said.
But you admit that he didn't ask her to make the shrine, so how was he taking advantage of her for content?
Can you send me a video of it? And then he continued to talk to her and continue to encourage the parasocial behavior.
Wait, but she made it on her own volition, correct? And then he didn't actually use it for content, correct? He didn't even include it in his video, right?
I don't believe so, but again, that doesn't change what actually happened.
Yeah, what happened is that
what happened is that Acheeto DM'd this girl after seeing that and said, can you take a video of this? And then continued to like interact with this person for months.
So she said she made a shrine for him and he wanted to see it. So he said, can you send me a video so I could see it? And
he said, I believe he said, put it in a video.
Put it in a video to give to him, right? She sends him a Google Drive link in the DMs.
I believe the terminology was like more so I can put it inside of a YouTube video that I will upload.
Yeah, he asked her, he said, yes, I can put it inside of a YouTube video. And then upon talking to her further and like assessing, okay, is this girl really mentally ill? He decides, you know what? I'm not going to use it in my video. So I don't understand like who was taken advantage of here.
I believe I've been arguing that it was the girl who made the shrine.
Yeah, but if she made the shrine on her own volition, then like, and did she make the shrine after they started talking?
Probably not. I don't know.
Was it before or after they started? You don't know if it was before or after they started talking?
I don't, regardless of if it started before or after, I don't think it changes anything for me.
Of course it does, because it plays a role in his intent in talking to her. But I don't know what that means for you. Are there no objective scenarios? Like, is there no objectivity like in the world? Like you keep saying for me, not for me. Like,
I mean, my opinion, my view. I don't, dude. I don't know.
Sure, I'm not trying to establish. I'm trying to establish the facts of what occurred here. That what we disagree on.
I'm sure you know all the facts. I think we just disagree on the terminology used.
So is it fair to say there is no scenario where you will ever concede on an argument?
I think I've conceded on plenty of arguments.
Well, you said you don't agree that it's taking advantage of, and then the more we talk about it, you say, well, actually, it still technically is taking advantage of, but I could use a different word.
I mean, if I find a better word, I'll stop using taking advantage of. I just don't think that they're, like, I probably can't think of one on the spot right now.
But you still think it is taking advantage of. That's the point.
As of right now, until I'm able to form a better argument, yeah.
And I've just explained to you that taking advantage of requires someone to get something out of it. And then your argument is, okay, what he was trying to get out of it was content.
Or attention or something like that, yeah.
Part of encouraging the parasociality that you argued for was his interactions with her. So if he never asked for this shrine, and he simply wanted a video of it, then when their initial interactions begin, was he going into these interactions, the thing you're arguing that is encouraging the parasociality, with the expectation that he's going to be able to get a video of this shrine?
Probably, and with the expectation that this girl would probably like validate him or talk, like fucking give him attention or something like that, right?
So that is just like a complete assumption. There's no, I don't
I'm sorry, I can't view into like Acheeto's head. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I know, but you're making like pretty public claims here. So the if the point was the content, because taking advantage of requires the use of something or to get something out of it, right? If the point was to get content out of it, then wouldn't it be a pretty fundamental question to figure out whether or not, when like their interactions started, the interactions that you claim are like the way in which he encouraged her parasociality, wouldn't it be important to establish whether or not like the content that he was trying to achieve existed to begin with at that point in time, if she made the shrine on her own volition?
Sure, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Do you agree with me?
I've tried to make my opinion known.
Okay, so you're not going to argue. Okay, cool. So you're perfectly okay with saying people take advantage of 16-year-old girls and then like not arguing for it. Got it.
Do you want me to argue for it? What?
Yes, get fucking mad. This cocky.
Why do you want me to get mad? What?
Because you were this cocky fucking pretentious asshole.
I came into this thinking this was going to be like a serious discussion, and you're like, get mad. I'm not going to fucking spurg right now. You're taking this like way more seriously than I was. I don't know what you want.
Of course I'm fucking serious. What happened to the fucking morale from yesterday?
Because I was going in trying to make like an insanely like an entertaining stream or get like a funny clip or something, right?
Argue for your position or admit you're a fucking coward.
Okay, for I don't know how many times I've said this. I think encouraging a parasocial relationship with an obsessed fangirl is probably wrong and probably bad. I don't like that.
Holy fuck.
So Aiden, I looked at that and in my head, I thought this is weird. This is bad. I don't like it. I don't think it's as extreme to claim this is any form of predation. I don't think this is as extreme to claim any more than just like really weird and kind of freakish, but that's like the extent of it.
Why can't
I don't feel the need to argue because I don't disagree with my point.
But how come every time I push you on it, like you don't answer questions directly and you're like, I sure did. Sure.
Because I feel like if I don't know how I could argue this with you, because I don't know what to tell you. Like I personally, like I'm gonna be honest, I'm legitimately just moral frogging or whatever, right? I personally looked at the situation and I looked at it and thought, okay, this is bad, this is weird, right? I just looked at that and I was like, okay, bad, weird, like that was the extent of it.
Kick Hayden.
I don't know. Go ahead.
You don't think this was predation?
No, I've tried to make that very clear.
Okay. So I'm just trying to argue to you right now why this wouldn't be considered taking advantage of, and it doesn't really seem like you're willing to even entertain that dialogue.
You're not, Kate, you're not even arguing that. You're trying to convince me that what I'm saying is wrong. You're not trying to convince me that this isn't taking advantage of.
I actually am. I've just given you the definition of taking advantage of, and I'm trying to explain to you why, like, you have
so
not
you gave me the
enough
definition. The definition said, okay, you have to gain something. And then I responded, okay, here's what he had to gain from it, right?
Yes, yes. And then I'm explaining to you, okay, can we establish when he began, you claim that the vessel of, like, encouraging the parasociality was his interactions with her. So if he's going into this with the intent to gain something out of it, then wouldn't it be pretty important to establish whether or not he knew the content, the thing he was trying to gain out of this, existed before or after he began the interactions that you claim started her parasociality? Would that not be like a pretty important detail?
I don't think the parasociality started with this. I never claimed that.
So, okay, but you're claiming he took advantage of her.
Yes, I think he just took advantage of, like, a mentally ill fangirl, and I think this is at the lowest end of the fucking the totem pole of taking advantage of or whatever.
Okay, I just don't think you're fucking capable of getting it. I genuinely don't. I mean, you're being extraordinarily hostile. I literally just think we disagree. Of course,
I think we have different personal moral beliefs around this situation.
When we're talking about taking advantage of 16-year-olds, I'm not going to do this agree to disagree bullshit. You're very much aware that your wording gives off a very fucking extreme implication, and for you to sit here and tell me
yes,
that
and I agree that that's probably not the word I should have used publicly.
You just agreed that it still applies. You just agreed that that's still applicable.
Yes, and I'm trying to add context to explain that it's probably not as extreme as everyone thought I was trying to be.
Oh my fucking God.
And there's probably, there is definitely a better word to use. I'm just not, like, I can't think of it right now. I apologize.
Okay, cool. But you agree that it's still taking advantage of a 16-year-old. That fundamental fact has not changed, correct?
No, and I don't think you, as so far as to this point in time, have been able to convince me otherwise.
Okay, cool. So there is no, but you also agree that it's not serious. I can't imagine any scenario where taking advantage of a 16-year-old is not fucking serious, where I'm not going to get hostile when you're publicly accusing someone of that and are unwilling to back it up and doing, like, the feigned, like, lack of fucking caring or whatever.
I think when I say the word, or when I say the term taking advantage of, I think the first thing you think of is probably, like, sexually, like there's some form of malice or manipulation or something like that, right? What is the first thing you think of?
Malice.
What is the first? Just malice? Just malice?
Yes.
Okay.
Malice.
I don't think there was, like, any form of malice here, or if there was, it was, like, so little to the point that it's negligible. Like, what he got out of this was, like, a piece of content that he wanted to use in a video, didn't end up doing, and, like, just a parasocial relationship from this, like, obsessed fangirl. That's, like, the extent of it.
Well, I've got some DMs for us to look at really here, and let's see. This girl who you used her mental illness as, like, a factor in her, like, inability to, like, in her inability to say no or, like, accurately assess the situation. She's the girl herself has spoken out. The girl who you've admitted, like, you've never, like, actually, like, spoken to or, like, figured out if she took issue with this.
And again, I have no intention to talk to this girl.
Okay, cool. So she says, okay, so for reference, the whole thing that he was begging for, shrines, is ridiculous. I always thought it was ironic, plus I did the whole thing because I thought it was funny. In addition, he did not know I was not in a mental space, and he asked me initially if I was okay. He never did the reaction video because he concluded that he doesn't want to send a bunch of people my way because he knew I was struggling mentally. So the fact that Morale said that it was ill-intended is insane. Hold on, we've got more.
Sure.
Plus, he never even took advantage of me. I don't know where that came from, lol. That's all I have to say. Me and him were chill as fuck, and I just made art for him, and we only followed each other on Twitter and Instagram. These are the screenshots that proves the screenshot is from Sensitive and not Acheeto. So the screenshot you presented yesterday is their, like, interaction wasn't even, like, a part of their interaction. That's, like, an interaction with Sensitive Society. And the DMs finish off by saying... Right here, these DMs finish off by saying, and I was not being legit. The entire shrine plus parasocial thing was just a character. It was all ironic. Plus, again, Morale wasn't in contact with me, and he found me because I used to draw a bunch of art for him. Wait a minute!
I do not think... This girl has never drawn art for me. I do not know who this girl is.
Okay,
I've never talked to her, and the only contact I have with her is a mutual friend who I've literally stated I do not want to talk to this girl. I don't want to get that involved in a situation like this.
So she's never drawn art for you. There's no
not that I know of. If she has, I would not know about it.
Aren't you, like, a fucking small YouTuber? If somebody draws art for me, I know about it. I guess I
don't memorize their names or, like, who they've. If I don't believe that this girl has drawn art for me, I don't think I've ever interacted with her.
Okay, how did you find out about her existence?
I don't know where like it first popped up. I'm sorry. This is something I've been aware about for like months at this point.
Never mind. Never mind. She's talking about Acheeto. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Keep going.
No, I could not tell you where I first learned about this individual.
Okay. Wait.
Like it's been months at this point since I found this out. I just knew that this was a thing. It's not something that I've pinpointed where I first found out about it or first learned about it or whatever, right?
Okay, it's not my fault that her fucking syntax is wrong. Okay, it's not my fault. Sorry. Keep going. Her syntax is wrong. The implication of that is that morale, or like if you read that correctly as it's written, the implication is that she drew art for morale. I get that's not correct. Okay. Sorry. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So she's saying that she's saying that it was a bit, which was my initial interpretation reading that.
Yeah, I just don't believe that. I don't think you can take this girl at her word.
So we can't take her at her word. We can't take her friend at her word.
I don't think you can take a mentally ill girl who's like displaying obsessive behavior at her word, and then someone who's also shown to display like obsessive behavior. Probably like you can't take these people at their words. I think you have to look at like what actually happened and then come to a determination from that point.
Okay, sure. So the obsessive behavior that we've looked at before, by the way, do you think that mentally ill people can have opinions? Or not? Do you think that, like, mentally ill people can have like accurate opinions on things?
Probably, yeah. But I feel like they're like I'm not a mental health expert or like a mental illness expert or anything like that. So I don't know.
So do you not think we should ever take the word of mentally ill people?
I think if someone's mentally ill and they're acting rational, it's very easy to write off, oh, this person's mentally ill, which explains this behavior or something like that.
Or do you mean if she's acting irrational?
What did I say that would...
You said rational. So like if she's acting irrational and we know she has a history of diagnosed mental illness, it's safe to say that this is a result of her mental illness? Is that what your argument was?
Maybe I was talking broadly, not specifically about this girl.
Sure, but do you think like her statements read like pretty rationally right now? Like the way she's describing it is pretty like coherent?
I don't think we can dictate whether she's in sound mind by reading how she types.
Okay. I get that. But the thing is, right, you don't prove, like, it's not her burden. It's not her burden to prove she's of a sound mind. It's your burden to prove she's of an unsound mind. Under your logic, we would have to assume that everybody with a diagnosed mental illness should be considered of unsound mind until they prove otherwise.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay, so what here is indicative of the fact that she's of unsound mind?
She's talking to her therapist about being obsessed with YouTubers. She's asking if she should stop taking her meds so she can be more obsessed with YouTubers. But she
just admitted those are jokes.
I don't think we can take her at her word for that.
We can't take her at her word that these are jokes because the jokes were made? That's like completely circular reasoning.
I don't think we can take her at her word that these were jokes because I don't think we can go to someone involved in a situation and ask them like what happened here. It's the same reason you can't go to a grooming victim and ask if they were groomed. You have to look at the evidence and come to a reasonable conclusion at that point.
Yes, but the evidence here is so ambiguous. Of course her word is going to matter when the evidence that's been presented here, there's fundamental disagreement and interpretation between you and myself as to whether or not she was joking or not. So then when she comes forward and says, yes, actually I was joking, leading to my assessment of what she said to be apparently what was the case, you're saying, well, actually we can't take her word as to whether or not these were jokes. And I'm trying to ask you, why can't we take her word?
I feel like I just explained why.
You said we can't take her word dude, you keep doing this thing like, I just explained why. The thing you're explaining is like the thing itself, okay? We know that she made jokes.
Can you go to a grooming victim and ask them if they were groomed and believe them at their answer?
No. So you assess the facts.
This is the same reasoning for this then. That is what I think.
Oh my God. So do you think she was groomed?
No. So again, to make it very clear, I don't think there was any active predation that went on here.
Okay, lyrics once in. Hold on.
Sure. Lovely.
I can't take it anymore, dude. Letting you in. Oh, there we go. Yo, what's good? Hello?
probably setting up his mic or something.
Got you.
Hello?
Yo, what's good?
What is up? Mrow, why do you care about any of this? Why do you care about any of this? Like, what are you doing?
Like, what's my goal, maybe?
No, why do you care?
Or just why do I care?
Yeah, why do you care about this?
I mean, like, outside of a YouTuber setting, I don't really care. I think it's like, I looked at this, I was like, it's weird.
Well, we're talking
it's
in
funny,
a YouTuber
like,
setting. So
yeah, sure. I saw Aiden talk about it on stream. I was like, I know something about this. Let me call him and try to make like a funny piece of content or something.
You're saying this girl got taken advantage of, right?
Yeah.
How'd she get taken advantage of?
I think she got taken advantage of so far as Acheeto was like farming like attention from her, or like farming a parasocial relationship for her. I don't think it's the perfect word to use, but as of right now, that's probably the best descriptor I could like pull out of my ass.
So he has this like girl who's like fucking fangirling him, whatever. You know what I mean? He did he even ask for a cake? Did he even ask? Like, all I know is that he asked for.
I don't believe he asked for anything. I just know he was like encouraging this behavior by not like shutting it down and continuing to interact with her.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about encouraging this behavior? And like, I don't understand. Who gives a fuck about this? If you have fangirls and you encourage it, dude, who really gives a fuck? I mean, the most you could say it's cringe, and that's where this should have started and ended. Acheeto put out some cringe tweets. They looked gay. Laugh at him. But then you come along and then fuck up the whole story with your retarded allegations that are like trying to push this serious allegation on him.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely used like really awful wording that made it seem worse than it was.
Yeah, but now you're even on stream defending it. Like, you can't take the slightest bit of L.
I like I said, if I knew it would have been taken this seriously, I probably wouldn't have portrayed it in that way.
You're the one who took it seriously.
You're still defending it in this stream. You're moralizing about it. Who gives a fuck, dude?
Because I'm being asked a question about, like, dude, he's asking me a question. I'm like, yeah, my personal morals. I just think this is weird. That's it.
Your personal morals. So you're like,
yeah, no, I like I said, I've admitted this is definitely like a moral frog. This isn't something I would do like outside of a genuine discussion or something like that, right? And this probably isn't something I should have pushed to the public.
So your personal morals, because that's what you keep going back and forth with Aiden on. It's just this is your personal issue. You know, you take such a big personal qualm with this. Like, come on, man. You know that's bullshit. Like, just give it up. I think you've caught yourself in a corner where you've already like staked out like a big position on this, and now you've been forced into defending it and keep digging and keep digging. Dude, you just gotta own the L and keep it pushing.
I feel like I'm owning the L. I'm saying what I did wrong. I don't understand.
Okay, so you obviously you just aren't able to grasp if you think this is owning the L. Dude, you just gotta say, hey, you know what? I severely fucked up here. Stop defending. I shouldn't have framed this way at all. I don't believe in these previous positions. I got to do better going forward, or whatever the fuck.
I feel like I've said that, but then the questions keep coming. I'm just trying to answer what's being asked of me.
Okay, you're still moralizing with Aiden. That's the thing.
Because he's asking me like moral questions.
But you're saying it's bad, it's weird, and it's bad. I ask you to elaborate, and then you're saying you still agree that she was taken advantage of. So it doesn't really seem like you disagree with your initial take.
Mrow, your response to this should be saying, you know what? You're right. Who does give a fuck? This is a pretty dumb thing to get latched onto it. I got too in-depth in the commentary.
I'm not latched onto it. He asked me to come on his stream to ask questions. I came on his stream. So I'm trying to be honest with my answers and my reasoning and shit. That's,
hold on. You are latched onto this. You reached out to several people. Apparently this girl's friends trying to figure out, like you said, you had testimonies trying to figure out if this girl's mentally ill. Bro, you are too deep in it. You are latched onto this. This is fucking like a lot, man.
I don't know then. I don't know. I don't think that's the case.
Sure. If you don't, hey, Mrow, if you don't get it, then that's on you. This is fucking crazy. You got it though. I'm good to go.
All right, take care. So yeah, I don't really. I thought honestly I might be able to get you on here and like actually like concede.
I'm so confused. I feel like I've conceded on so much.
No, you're conceding and then not conceding. You're being like, yeah, I should have used different wording, but yeah, I agree. It's still he's still taking advantage of her.
My position itself, I still believe in. Like, personally, I still believe in it. But the way I got to that example and the way I showcased it on stream was probably really retarded and probably isn't something I should have done.
The position that he took advantage of a 16-year-old girl.
Yes.
Which we admit is like just not the case here. Or you don't admit it's okay. Yeah, we admit. So your position has not changed, and I think that's the fundamental issue.
You have not been able to convince me that this isn't like something that's like weird or bad.
Well, the girl herself has come out, and you're saying, well, we can't take her word for it.
I don't understand why that's like a hot take. What?
Wait, it's not a hot take that we can't. Okay. Your part of Can I like draw this out on like a fucking diagram? Part of your evidence is these tweets that were pulled up. The part about like use this as serious evidence.
Okay, if they're jokes, do you think there's any root of jokes and like truth in jokes at all, or no?
Sure, there can be, but you have to fucking argue for that.
Okay, is this girl genuinely diagnosed with a mental illness?
Sure, she's genuinely diagnosed.
Do you think that the joke about not taking her meds for the diagnosed mental illness, there could be some sort of truth in there?
There could be truth when he says, no, don't take your meds.
That's not, dude.
That's a clarifying question. So
I'm obviously referencing the girl.
Okay, the girl tweets out about her meds and like obsessing over Acheeto, and then he replies with, don't, right? That's the tweet you're referring to?
Yes, could there be any form of truth there?
That she takes medication? Yes.
Dude, you're just being like completely dishonest. The question I'm asking, obviously, okay, when I say she's diagnosed with a mental illness, you say yes, and I say, okay, with the tweet that's saying, should I stop taking my meds? Do you think there's any form of truth in there? And then you took that and you're like, yes, I think she's on meds. That's obviously not the question I'm asking.
You're asking, is there
You're being completely dishonest.
You're asking. Wait, no, I'm not. You're asking the question is. Your question is there root? Is there truth?
Is there any root of truth that she wants to stop taking her meds to be obsessed with Acheeto, like the tweet states? Not that she's on any form of medication.
I don't think there is. I think that was clearly a joke.
I don't think there's any root of truth there.
Nope. I interpret it as okay. Can you argue for why there's a root of truth there?
If she's genuinely diagnosed with a mental illness and then makes a joke about stopping taking her meds, like on Twitter or whatever, like there's like a good probability that there is like a root of truth there, I think. So maybe that's where the fucking root of the disagreement lies. You look at those tweets and you assume absolutely no joke took place, right? And then I look at them and I say there's a good chance that there is a joke, or that it is a joke, and then a good chance that it isn't a joke. I don't know, like the percentage.
Okay, and then when she explicitly comes out and clarifies otherwise, why can't we take her word on it on the joke?
Okay, why do you think we can't take a grooming victim at their word when they say they weren't groomed?
Because a groomer can manipulate them to like stay silent, and they also may not like know like formal definitions of grooming. They also don't know like formal definitions of grooming, or groomers often like rely on the fact that they like convince their victims to think that what they're doing is good to them. Groomers often rely on the fact that like the victim thinks they're like good for them to have them in their life. So of course the victim is going to defend that person. Now this girl's a fan of Acheeto. So you say, oh, she might lie about that, right? Is that what you're about to follow up with?
So if she's going to therapy and like saying she's obsessed with this YouTuber, and the therapist is like, no, don't be obsessed with them. If that's true, right? Because there's a chance it could be a joke. Who knows, right? But if it's true, right? Do you think she would then come to you and tell you honestly, I was not manipulated? Not manipulated. Sorry, I was not taken advantage of.
I think the mentally ill girl who's publicly exclaiming that she's obsessed with Acheeto is going to publicly tell me whether or not she's actually obsessed with Acheeto. If she's not going to tell the truth, then what reason would she have to actually make the tweets and statements about her obsession public to begin with, if she's not later also going to say the same thing publicly?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I can take someone like that at their word.
Just answer the question.
I followed up with an answer, dude. I don't think I can personally look at that and take her word on it based on the information I'm given.
But we're arguing whether or not she can be taken at her word. That's the content here. So as I'm building the argument and giving you the counter argument, you're like, yeah, but I don't know if we could take her word. That's what we're fucking arguing, you fucking retard.
Okay.
That's
Holy
what we're arguing.
Hey, Aiden, I don't think we can take her at her word, because if she's going to her
therapist... Have you had a recent lobotomy that like, you haven't told us about?
Dude. Hey,
what is wrong with you? Just fucking engage with the argument.
I'm trying, dude.
Well, you're doing a pretty fucking piss poor job.
I think I'm doing relatively fine.
If this
I
is
think...
you trying at your fucking max, I think you might be the one that's fucking mentally inept. Answer the fucking question.
Yeah, sure. I don't think I can take this person at their word, because if they're going to their therapist, if that's true, and saying, I'm obsessed with this YouTuber and I don't want to stop being obsessed with this YouTuber, I don't think she's going to go to you and be truthful that she isn't obsessed with her or obsessed with him.
So she's told everyone, okay, so she's told everyone that she's obsessed with the YouTuber. And we want to establish whether or not that's genuine, okay? And we go and we follow that up with asking her, okay, are you obsessed with this YouTuber? A public exclamation that she's already made. Is this a joke or factual? If she's already publicly told us that by making the post, then why would she not fucking publicly tell us that?
Okay, so again, the reason I don't think I can take this individual at their word is if they're obsessed with Acheeto and they're telling their therapist that they're obsessed with Acheeto and that they don't want to stop being obsessed with Acheeto, when confronted with this information, when it's like optically bad or seen as like optically taboo or something, I don't think she's going to just DM someone and be like, no, I'm not obsessed with Acheeto. Like, I don't think I can personally look at that and all the information being given or whatever and believe her at her word. I think my evidence would need to be significantly more than that. If her just saying like, I'm not obsessed with Acheeto, there would have to be way more than just like one Twitter DM to you or to whoever it was sent to.
Can you give me a hypothetical where she's able to prove that she's not obsessed with Acheeto?
If there's like multiple examples, maybe of her being like consistent with that, it's a bit.
Sure, we have multiple examples. We have her clarifying in Lyrics' DMs, and then we have the DMs of the Acheeto from months ago where she also exclaims that it's a joke and she plays it up. So actually we do have multiple examples. So your burden's been met.
I don't believe my burden has been met, no.
You just explained that the only
I don't think three examples, two of which happened like today or yesterday.
Quantify. Give me a number. How many examples do you need?
Across like months and like friend groups and stuff. Like this was like a known bit.
We do have it across months. We do. These are from months ago. We have from recently and from months ago. Yeah, those are from months ago.
Okay, one DM from Acheeto months ago, and then two DMs that happened yesterday.
So your burden was multiple DMs across months. We have multiple DMs across months.
I am telling you, my burden has not been met. I have tried to explain why my burden has not been met.
You've just given your burden. You've just given me your burden. I've explained to you how it's been met.
Hey, Aiden, two DMs from yesterday and one DM from a month ago is not significant enough for me.
So what is significant enough?
Probably more than that.
So will you admit that you have a burden that's impossible to meet? There is no scenario where you agree that these were jokes?
Yes, from everything I just said to you, if you've come to the conclusion that my burden is impossible to meet, sure. It is very obvious we're not going to find some middle ground here. It's very obvious we're not going to agree on anything. You're not giving any ground. I'm telling you my opinion. Like I'm expressing, Aiden, I'm expressing to you what I think. I'm expressing to you that I looked at this situation. I looked at all the evidence I was able to gather and everything everybody was telling me. And I looked at this and I was like, oh, this is weird. This is bad. I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to be as truthful and honest with you as I can. I legitimately just thought this was like a weird situation. I played it up on stream. I probably shouldn't have. Okay?
Why can't you just admit you're wrong? What is fucking wrong with you?
Okay.
No, you're not.
Hey, I don't think I'm wrong. I looked at this situation in my head and I said, this is weird. This is bad. And you have not been able to come to me and form this in a way that to me in my head, I can look at that and be like, okay, I was wrong. Or I'll change my mind or something. You've come into this conversation, which I thought was going to be a chill conversation. You've come in here and used like fucking ad homs. You've been extremely disrespectful. I don't understand. I'm not trying to like fucking moral fact. I don't care about being.
You joined my stream today accusing me of sweeping, calling me fucking insane, calling me a fucking idiot. That's literally all you did yesterday. What do you mean I'm being disrespectful and using ad homs? You're a fucking crybaby. It's fucking pathetic.
I don't believe I'm a crybaby, no.
Stop whining and address my fucking argument, you little bitch.
I just don't agree. I looked at the situation. I thought it was weird and bad.
Yeah, okay. So you gave me your burden.
I've tried my best to explain that to you.
I've explained to you how that burden has been met, and you still, even when
Two
the burden
DMs
is
from yesterday and one DM from a month ago. Not enough. I'm telling you, burden has not been met. I'm telling you,
give me
Aiden.
a number. Give me a number. Give me a number so we can DM this girl a few months from
I've explained to you
now.
what would be met. I don't think because
What
this is
number?
like this is
Give me a number,
dude.
Give me a number.
More than that, I don't know if there's a fucking number. Like I have to fucking hit like a scoreboard or something.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're gonna check in with this girl every 3 months to ask her, were these jokes? Were these jokes? Were these jokes? Were these jokes? And within like the next 9 months, if we get like at least 3 consistent answers over the span of like the next few months, because your burden is multiple messages over the span of months, will you then concede?
To you or to Larix? No, that's not, dude. Like in friend groups, in Discord servers, across like a variety of platforms, not just with you when you're asking her when it's optically bad.
Your burden is impossible to meet.
How is that impossible to me? If this is a long-lasting joke that she's been like playing up, right? Why, like, it should be easy to find her doing this joke or like her admitting that this is a joke across like a variety of platforms. Is that not like a reasonable thing to say?
Wait. So you realize before she even gave her opinion on it, I, as well as everyone else in this chat, interpreted it as being a joke, right? And then she comes forward and says, yes, it was a joke. And I honestly feel like the only reason you can't believe this girl is because she's a diagnosed mental illness. Honestly.
It's not the only reason, but it is definitely a factor. I've tried to make that clear.
It's a factor. Okay, then you're a fucking idiot that doesn't know what mental illness is.
I'm pretty sure if you're diagnosed with schizophrenia, that's like pretty significant.
So what do you think schizophrenia is?
Probably a mental illness, dude. I don't know.
Okay. A mental illness involving what?
I'm not a mental health expert. Like I said previously, I'm not going to be able to tell you
But you're using her schizophrenia as a point for why she can't be believed, and you don't even know what schizophrenia is?
Dude, again, like I said, I'm not going to be able to define to you what schizophrenia is. It'll probably be wrong. I'm not a mental health expert. You've obviously done more research on this, so a more effective way to go about this is you being like, hey, I've done research on this. Let me tell you what this is, right?
Okay, this is the most like, okay. You're never going to be convinced, and I have like no faith you'll ever admit you're wrong in like
because
any
I'm
conversation.
asking you to be like good faith and try to explain to me what this is and why it would have like significance.
I was so good faith yesterday that you accused me of being too good faith. And I'm the only difference here is I'm being good faith to the person that's being accused, not you, the person making the accusation. And like,
so you're not going to, so dude,
what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Can you explain to me what schizophrenia is?
Sure. It's a mental disorder involving positive and negative symptoms. The negative symptoms being like lack of affect, lack of like I think like emotional reciprocation in certain circumstances, and then like positive symptoms, which can include anything from like hallucinations to I think like there's like a few people might even get like movement problems or whatever. But you have positive and negative symptoms. Positive symptoms, the hallucinations, can be resolved through the use of antipsychotic medication, which this girl says she is on. When schizophrenics
but she's also
are on,
making jokes about not taking her meds.
Jokes? They're jokes?
Yes, but I think there's truth to be had in jokes, like I've stated.
If I made a joke right now that this debate, or if I made a joke right now that I'm gonna go shoot myself, like are you actually gonna call the suicide hotline?
No, again, I don't think, dude, you're every like example I think of, you're like bringing it into a binary. I don't think if you make a joke, you're going to like fucking kill yourself the next day.
I'm trying to explain.
If you make consistent jokes about being like suicidal, there's probably a hint of truth that maybe you're suicidal, right? But if you just say the joke once, like.
Do you know what makes an argument valid? Why is an argument?
I couldn't tell you, dude.
An argument is valid when I believe when it's not possible for all of the premises to be true, yet the conclusion false. And when I take your logic and bring it over to another example, I'm explaining to you your argument is invalid because all of your criteria could be brought over to other examples where the conclusion would be false. So I'm explaining to you that your argument is invalid. Do you understand that?
How have you explained to me that my argument's invalid?
I've literally just explained to you how you prove invalidity in an argument, and then you're like, well, you're bringing it over to my other examples, and it's not a binary. And I'm explaining to you how all of your points for why this girl, her jokes should be taken seriously, can be brought over into other examples and like still not hold true. So clearly, there's something wrong with your argument.
Okay, so when I bring up that there's a hint of truth in jokes, and then you come up and say, if I make a joke about shooting myself, are you going to actually call the suicide hotline? You're putting it into like an insane scenario, because obviously no, but there's probably, like, if you make consistent jokes about that, there's probably a hint of truth to it, right?
So
would you agree?
Yeah, has she made more than one joke about not taking her meds?
There's the therapist tweet and the
that's
fucking Twitter shit.
That's a different thing.
I don't think it is.
The therapist, that's a different joke. Both jokes, I agree, the theme revolves around being obsessed with Acheeto. I admit she's obsessed in the same way fangirls would call themselves obsessed with fucking that one guy from BTS, fucking Jungle Cock or whatever his name is. Sure. But like that's not really his name. I'm sorry, Jungle Cock. But like the fucking like obsessed is a term that teenage girls use quite often to describe figures that they're infatuated with, like celebrities or like YouTubers they watch or whatever. The term obsessed doesn't literally mean I have an obsession with this person. She said she's diagnosed with schizophrenia. I don't think that's how that works.
Okay, yeah, dude, I don't know.
Okay, okay, cool. So I think we're done. There's no scenario where you will be wrong under your like own burden. Your burdens shift. To be clear, no, my burden has not shifted. You've given me 2 DMs from yesterday and then a DM from months ago. I've told you so many times that that's not enough. You see, I know, but you said that wasn't enough after you provided your burden, and I presented with you why
my
that
burden was consistent
burden.
DMs. 2 DMs is not like DMs from yesterday when it's optically bad, and this is like the obvious like good thing to say. I don't think that's consistent.
So is there any way if this girl wanted to prove to you tomorrow that these really were jokes, what would you say to her to prove it to you?
The same thing I'm saying to you. Consistent messages across months in like friend groups or Discords or whatever.
And she should screenshot those and forward them to you?
I don't care if they forward them to me. I don't like it.
So why would it matter where she's typing them if the end result is that they're being forwarded to you?
That's just what I want to see. That's my burden. What? What?
Yeah, I'm explaining to you why your burden makes no sense. I get that's your burden.
My burden makes no sense because I want to see consistent messages showcasing that it's a joke.
Yeah, so how does she prove that to you? By screenshotting and sending those messages to you?
It doesn't have to be to me. I just need to see them. I don't care.
So you need to see them. Okay. So if she knows that you're going to be seeing these, right? Then why would she not be honest if it's me or Lyrics asking her over the span of a few months? If the end result is just to satisfy you, why would it like matter whether she's typing them in server A or server B if she knows they're being typed so you can see them?
Because that's not DMs across like the past months showcasing that this was a joke?
Yeah, so to showcase over the past months that this is a joke, she would need to type this out in several servers. And if I'm her right now asking, how do I prove this to you? How do I prove this is a joke? You're saying I want to see DMs in multiple servers. So she's like, okay, let me go and like start DMing in multiple servers that this is a joke. What would be so MROW can like know, hey, this really was a joke. What would be the difference between her doing that and being like, let me DM to Aiden and Lyrics every few months that this is a joke to show I'm being consistent? Why would that like? What would be the fundamental difference?
I don't think going forward, if I'm explaining my burden right now, I don't think anything going forward is going to prove that to me. Like messages going forward, if she's like coming to you across like months, every 3 months or whatever the fuck your example was, I think I have to look at DMs in the past, things that she's showcasing in the past that show that this was a joke. So things like in group chats, in Discord servers, DMs with friends, stuff like that show that this was a joke in the past, which is why, again, I think the argument that like consistent DMs, when I say that, or like consistent messages or consistent showcasing, when you just bring up 2 DMs from yesterday, that doesn't really matter to me because she's DMing 2 content creators when this is like obviously the optically good thing to say, right? I need to see things from the past showing that this is a joke, because if it's things going forward, I can't tell if this is a joke that just started right now or if this is a joke that was always a joke or whatever. Like I can't tell where the joke started if it was a joke to begin with, right?
But you're operating under the assumption that it isn't a joke. That's like, or that there is that it is the truth. Like you've already assumed that, right? Like, instead of
Yes,
saying,
and then
I'm
if
on
my
the fence
burden is
here-
met, I will concede.
Okay, but you're saying there's nothing she can do going forward. It needs to be prior messages, correct? I'm just establishing this so we can start working on how we're going to get you to concede. You admit there needs to be prior messages?
Sent to Aiden.
Yes, messages like before today, consistent DM. How am I not being?
Okay,
hold on, genuinely, how am I not being clear?
I hear you. Next question. I heard you. So then, what if she comes and tells you these are the only 3 times I've spoken about the jokes I've made? Is there now no way she can ever prove to you that she's joking?
Right now.
Sorry, repeat your question.
What if she comes to you now and say these 3 examples, the 3 examples that you're not accepting to meet your burden are the only 3 times I've ever made this joke? Is there now no further future scenario where she can prove that this was a joke?
Probably not. No, not to me personally.
Okay.
Because if this was really a joke throughout the months that this was going on, right? There would probably be evidence of that. There's a scenario where there isn't, right? There's a scenario where like this is extremely fucking like a niche situation where this was genuinely a joke, and like she just never talked about it in private. She never talked about it in servers. She never talked about it like anywhere else. There is a chance that happened. But for me personally, I'm willing to take the risk and just like put that aside because I'm just my burden of proof is more significant than that for something like this.
So have you discussed every joke you've ever made in DMs?
No, but if there's like a consistent bit going on, I could probably find evidence of me talking about it.
Probably. So there are. You admit there are cases where somebody could be doing a bit that they just don't talk about.
I feel like
in DMs?
I just said that. Am I like?
Yeah. I'm just clarifying. That's how clarification works. You fucking moron. So my question is, you're admitting that there is. Okay. Do you not understand why people clarify? How fucking stupid are you?
Dude,
okay.
Is this all this is gonna be?
No, you admit that there. You admit. Okay. Do you not understand? You've given us an impossible burden. You don't understand that?
I don't believe this is an impossible burden unless there is some world in which she never talked about this ever. And in that case, I would probably say, no, I don't believe this was like a joke.
Okay. Well, you stupid fucking retard. There is no scenario.
Hold on. If my burden hasn't been met, then that. How is that like what? If my burden hasn't been met, then I'm just not going to concede. I feel like this is a reasonable burden to have.
No, it's not, because we've given you 3 examples and you're saying you want more. There are plenty of bits that I've done over the span of months that haven't been discussed in my DMs more than 3 times. And you're saying there's nothing she can do in the future to prove this to you. So there are plenty under your logic.
If you can find me 3 times across months, not 3 times, including months ago with 1 person and then 2 times today.
That's 3 times across months.
That would be more than enough for me.
That's 3 times across months.
No, not fucking messages today when it's optically good. I feel like I'm trying really hard to explain why I don't think the 2 messages today really matter to me. How am I being obtuse there?
Because if those were the only 2 messages and she hadn't been consistent in her narrative months ago, then I don't understand what a 3rd one would do that 2 over the span of months couldn't. I don't understand why 3 is the criteria. I don't know if this is like a baseball game and we're talking about strikes. Like, why can't 2 over the span of months prove like consistency in the narrative when you don't have any DMs of her admitting that they were serious? We have DMs admitting that it was a joke, but we have no DMs of her admitting that this was a serious intention. Yeah. How about this? Why don't you prove the burden? Do you have any fucking DMs of her admitting that these weren't or that these were not that these weren't jokes, that these were serious messages?
Yeah, I just looked at the tweets, looked at what I was shown, and I came to the conclusion that there was probably some air of seriousness here. So right. I have come to that conclusion. I have explained to you my conclusion. I feel like it's unreasonable for you to come to me and for me to somehow have the burden. When it just, again, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm trying to explain my point of view. This is just the conclusion that I've come to personally, based on what I've seen. Right?
You're the one that came on my stream yesterday to bring this up, and I
aware, dude.
You have provided such a fucking hard burden to prove because there are so many bits that people do that they don't discuss 3 times across the span of months in DMs. I don't understand. I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied. And I think that this is...
I will be satisfied if I get like literally anything else. I don't think 2 DMs from like the past 24 hours or whatever is like enough. Just
and another one from months ago of the consistent narrative. And no DMs is 0 with your narrative.
I don't know how you could possibly turn the burden on me. You asked for my burden. I gave it to you.
It's your.
I don't need fucking consistent DMs. This is a claim that I just like I believe. I'm not trying to like advocate for this point for other people to believe it. This is just my opinion. I'm like I said, dude. I'm coming in here. I'm trying to be like as honest and genuine as
You called
possible.
me insane for not believing this. So obviously, I think there is an error of advocation for other people. But I can't.
Dude, I was coming in and trying to be like entertaining for stream.
This is just a cope, and you got on Jalen for doing the same thing.
I think there's there's an obvious difference there. Come on.
No, because you were making serious arguments the entire time. There were no jokes.
When I was calling you insane and like started verbally spamming sweeping, like come on, like
Sure,
obviously those.
Wait, sure. You could say the ad hominem was played up. Sure, the ad hominem was played up, but you genuinely.
And I was obviously like playing up the entire like argument. Like
there were no arguments you've given to me yet that you didn't actually believe from yesterday. It seems like every argument you made yesterday is the same today. Okay, sure, you might not have meant to be shouty.
Aiden,
the same.
Aiden, I personally, due to my fucking personal moral frog, whatever, right? I looked at this and I was like, this is weird, this is bad. That's kind of the extent of it. No active predation, no anything more extreme than that, right? I think that is it. I think, yes, taken advantage of, and so far as like the least you can go about taking advantage of, right? And even then, I probably don't even agree with that word. If someone else were to like say that word, I would agree with it. That's literally just the best thing I can come up with, right? And even then, this probably isn't something that I should have debated on stream. I agree that it was probably really bad for me to debate this on stream, right? Especially because I didn't have everything ready. I had to go fucking out of my way to find screenshots. There was even a point where I missed a screenshot, and that led to fucking a massive issue, right? I didn't come in prepared. I didn't come in ready to have like a super serious discussion. And the wording I used was like really harmful.
Okay. Okay. So you disagree with me calling it a nothing burger, right?
Again, even then, it's probably just like a retarded disagreement on the word or the definition of nothing burger. I think nothing burger is like this doesn't matter, like whatever. I think this matters insofar as like this is kind of weird.
Okay.
If I'm going by the definition that you provided earlier, if I'm remembering correctly, like if there's some form of like condemnation with it or something like that, I would agree by your definition, this is probably a nothing burger. But just how I thought the word was used, based on never reading the definition, just hearing people use it, I just simply disagreed. But if I'm going by the definition that you explained earlier, and again, if I'm remembering it correct, because at this point it was like an hour ago or something crazy, I agree. Like I agree, it was probably a nothing burger by the standard that you gave me, by the definition or whatever.
But under your definition, you didn't agree with that statement yesterday, right?
No, the way I view nothing burger, I don't think it was a nothing burger.
Okay, so
but again, like I never really dug into the definition of nothing burger. I literally just thought nothing burger meant like it's nothing. It doesn't matter. Don't like we shouldn't talk about it or whatever.
Okay, cool. So what did you mean when you called this a nothing burger?
Give me a second.
No problem. Take your time, buddy.
Yeah, I think the situation with the chocolate girl was like a pretty big nothing burger.
The one who he asked to draw like
lewd art.
Like
yeah. I don't care about it.
So let me get. So you think? So you think that it's wrong? You think that it's taking advantage of for someone to give a shrine to Acheeto and for him to talk to them even though he didn't even ask for the shrine, but you don't think it's taking advantage of for a guy to ask a big YouTuber to ask his fan for fucking fetish art? You think that's taking advantage of? But the other thing is,
I don't believe it was fetish art. I believe it was like a relatively lewd image.
Okay, but you don't think that's taking advantage of?
Again, maybe in like the lowest form of the definition.
But why is this one a nothing burger as of October 21st? But yesterday you disagreed with my classification of a Cheeto situation as a nothing burger.
I looked at that situation. I was like, oh, a 17-year-old who was, I can't remember if it was 3 weeks or 3 months or something, who was about to turn 18, drawing an image that wasn't even NSFW, and her like playing it up and trying to use it as this this like pile of evidence on top of jar. At the time, I looked at that and I was like, okay, this is probably stupid. This is probably something nothing should care about, given the other accusations that are going around. And then when I'm given the Acheeto thing, I look at that and the severity of what happened there, at least to me personally, I feel like is greater. I feel like farming an unhealthy parasocial relationship by someone who is obsessed or whatever is probably like bad. I looked at that and I thought it was bad. I just see the situations as like different.
Okay, so
I don't see how these could be comparable or anything like that. If also, but go ahead.
I think one is worse because he actually asked the fan for like lewd artwork. The other one, the guy didn't ask the fan for anything. He just spoke to her, and you think that one is worse?
I mean, like as of right now, yeah, I could change my mind.
Why is it worse?
I feel like
you just explained what it is. No, you explained what it is. What you did is you explained the nature of the situation itself. I don't think you understand how to argue. When I ask you, okay, why is it worse? You didn't explain out of the description you just gave of the scenario. What about that would make situation A worse than situation B? And instead of re-explaining to me the entire fucking situation, I'm asking you, explain to me why it's worse. Don't re-explain it. You explaining the situation is not proving why it's worse. If you're claiming the nature of the situation itself means it's worse, you're begging the fucking question. Explain to me why it's worse.
Right. So I look at a situation involving a 17-year-old drawing art, and I don't see anything wrong with that, right? I don't see anything like super insanely...
Explain why. Explain why. Don't re-explain the situation.
So I look at a
why.
situation involving a 17-year-old drawing art for a YouTuber, right? I look at that and probably, yeah, it's probably taking advantage of in like the lowest form, taking advantage of someone for the end goal of like art or something, right?
I didn't ask for a
That's
whole
probably
fucking
like I would
life story.
define it the same way. Right. And then the Acheeto thing, right? I looked at that and I looked at what was happening and I was like, okay, this is weird. This is kind of bad. But I don't think it's anything past
Dude,
that.
nobody's
right?
asking for your life story.
To
Just
me,
tell
like,
me why it's worse.
again, this is really autistic to compare these two because these are so wildly, insanely
Just tell
different.
me why it's
one
worse.
is an art piece someone drew and one is like a fucking someone farming like an unhealthy parasocial relationship. I don't know how to like compare the bads here. I don't know how to do that for you.
When you say so when you explain a Cheeto situation, when you're comparing in your comparison, you give your opinion in your explanation of a Cheeto situation. When you're explaining Jar's situation, you're being objective. So why don't you explain both with the objective facts? I don't think when we do that, we would say, I don't think it's worse. I don't think it's worse that somebody asked for art versus like somebody that like was talking to a fan of theirs that was making shrines for them. Say that instead of saying one as the objective fact and then the other one with all this morally loaded language. Then of course the scenario is going to seem worse.
I'm expressing my opinion both times.
No, because you're expressing your opinion, but you're providing opinionated descriptors for one of the scenarios, which you're not for the other. So of course in this comparison, one is going to seem worse than the other because the way you're describing it for one involves your opinion. The way you're describing it for the other one does not. You're loading one and you're not loading the other. So it's going to be an unequal comparison.
Yeah, I think it's an unequal... I don't think I can compare these two. They're so wildly different.
Both involve somebody interacting with a fan, an underage fan. Both involve situations where the creator was morally condemned for doing so. I don't understand what prevents you from like morally like ranking one over the other. I don't think they're like so wildly different that they
probably
can't even be
Acheeto is
compared.
worse then. I will probably say that. But again, these are so wildly different. I don't think you can fucking tier list these. Okay.
I'm not asking you to describe it for me. I'm asking you to explain why it's worse instead of re-explaining the situation, which you just can't do. If you have to
because I think farming an unhealthy parasocial relationship is probably worse than requesting art from someone.
Wait. So do you realize what you just did? I think it's worse because situation A, the situation A being your description of the Acheeto situation, is worse. I think it's worse because it's worse. That's what you... How is that not what you just did?
Okay,
how is that
I think
not
it's
what you
worse
just did?
because I see this one thing as more bad than the other thing. I don't... where's
you're
the...
just rephrasing the word worse. Explain why, you fucking idiot.
Okay, so if
stupid.
let's say right, this is like a pie chart, right? And a fat guy is cutting a pie open, right? And this guy cuts a really big piece of pie out of the pie, right? And that really big piece of pie is less big than the rest of the pie, right? So I would assign the small piece of pie compared to the rest of the pie as like the jar thing, and then I would describe the rest of the pie as the Acheeto thing. I think one of them is worse than the other. I don't exactly know how to explain it to you. I apologize.
What is fucking wrong with you, dude? You're so fucking stupid. You're just, what you've just done is explaining to me, situation A is, you're explaining to me what worse is. You're not explaining why. And then you've explained
because I think it's, dude, I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm sorry.
Why?
I view one as a moral, like a worse morally. I don't know, dude.
I think it's worse because it's worse. I think it's worse because it's worse. Dude, you're fucking brain dead.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Thank you for explaining perfectly.
Yes, it is. You're just saying it in a longer way. You're just saying it in a fucking longer way. That is what you're saying.
Sure.
It's worse because it's worse. Is that not what you just... you literally... Oh my god. If you can't see this, if you can't see that, like, what you're doing right now, I don't think you should be able to fucking operate a vehicle on the road. Nevertheless, fucking operate within this community. I came into here thinking you would actually be able to concede. You can't. You're incompetent.
I'm telling you.
Fucking idiot.
Holy fuck. Okay.
I have tried. I have tried to walk you through it like a little fucking infant, and you still don't get it.
Aiden,
if this is you trying, buddy, then you're fucked.
For the fucking 5th time, we're gonna keep looping on this. Holy fuck. I agree. I shouldn't have gone on stream and debated that hard. I came in trying to do a piece of content that I thought would be funny. I didn't understand at the time that it would be taken insanely serious, right? I disagreed with my wording. I disagreed how I formatted things. I disagreed about literally everything other than my opinion on it, right? I looked at this thing and just personally, I saw this and I was like, this is kind of weird. This is kind of bad. That's like the extent of it. At no point did I ever suggest there was any form of predation, pedophilia, grooming, nothing like that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
You're looping again.
That is the extent of it. I have tried my best to try and attempt to own to you the fact that my wording was fucked. Right? I obviously can't define the word weird for you, right?
You're looping again.
I obviously can't define to you why one is worse than the other. But you're coming to me like I don't know what I can give you other than me just like literally lying to you on stream to get you to a point where you'd be happy with this discussion.
Dude, you're just looping again. Like, why can't you just admit to me, hey,
dude, this entire conversation's been looping.
Why don't you just say to me, hey, I actually can't tell you why it's worse because I'm not sure. Can you just say that?
I have.
He didn't.
Wait, no, you haven't. So you admit you actually can't.
That entire rant I went on, I literally just said I can't define to you why one is worse than the other. Dude, oh my god.
Dude, you're like the Riddler of debates. We have to extract the answer to the question out of this like fucking cryptogram. Dude, just answer the question. I don't need your life story. I don't need you to fucking walk me through your day. I don't need you to walk me through everything we just talked about. Just answer the fucking question when I ask it to you.
I have. Maybe every single time.
I would know what you're... No, you walk me through all this irrelevant shit that I'm not asking you. You're the fucking debate Riddler, dude. To get the answer,
we keep going over the same shit over and over. Okay. Listen, Aiden, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Listen.
You're the debate Riddler.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Listen to me. I am telling you, one-on-one, I'm telling you, I'm looking at you and saying what I did there was wrong. I am saying what I did there was bad. I should not have done it.
You're saying your opinion hasn't changed.
Shut up.
We're not arguing any of this.
Aiden, shut the fuck up. Come on. Stop. Come on, keep up. I know I'm going super fast here. I'm sorry. I'm going super quick. I don't understand what I can give to you other than literally just lying to you that would end this conversation in a way that would be positive in your eyes.
Because you're looping again. You're doing the fucking crazy loop again. We're arguing about your opinion itself. Nobody cares about your wording. Nobody cares about the things we've already established. We're arguing about the basis for your opinion itself.
You're coming into this discussion and saying that I haven't like owned up to anything. And I'm trying to explain to you that I have.
You're owning up to shit that I'm not talking to you about.
Okay, you're asking my opinion. I think one is worse than the other. Can I explain to you why? No, I've said that fucking a dozen times.
So you can't explain to me why one is worse than the other.
Hey,
yes or no?
I need you. Okay, Aiden. What I need you to do? Hold on. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Listen, Aiden. You dumb fuck. You dumb. Come on. I know it's hard. I know you like to hear the sound of your own voice. I know. Come on. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Come on, Aiden. Okay, what I need you to do. What I need you to do, Aiden. I need you to deafen yourself. I need you to mute yourself and go back in the stream. I need you to watch what I said because yes, every single question you have fucking asked me, I have answered. Yes. I think one is worse than the other. Can I define that on stream out of nowhere? Probably not. I've tried my best to fucking explain this to you, dude. I don't know where the contention is. I don't know where the confusion is.
One is worse than the other.
It is entirely on your end. I apologize.
So one is worse than the other, and you can't explain why. Okay. That's a yes. That's what you just said, essentially. One is worse than the other, and you can't explain why. Do you not realize how fucking stupid that sounds?
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't even know why you would share your opinion at this point and not just concede you're a hypocrite. Like, you can't explain why you're not a hypocrite.
Okay.
So you're admitting you can't explain why you're not a hypocrite.
I don't. Where is? What are you talking? What hypocrisy?
Can I ask you, like, tell me about you.
No, don't fucking snake away from that. What hypocrisy?
What hypocrisy? Oh, the fact that when I use the term nothing burger in reference to Acheeto by your words, taking advantage of one of his fans by fucking interacting with her while you claim her mental illness is leading to an insane obsession, and by doing that, he's encouraging it. Why, when I call that a nothing burger, that is insane that I would do so. But then when you call Jar getting fetish art from one of his, I'm answering your question.
I'm gonna go take a fucking piss.
I'm answering your question. You asked me to answer your question. I'm answering your question. How is that not hypocrisy? It's wrong for me to call that a nothing burger, but you can call the Jar situation a nothing burger because it's worse, but you can't tell me why it's worse. I have to fucking decipher it. The Riddler of debating, dude. The Riddler of debating. You're gonna give me a position and I have to fucking figure out why you think that. Oh my God. Donos aren't showing. Oh, I gotta pull donos back up again. Someone was donating some like slurs or some shit. Hold on.
All right, I apologize. We've been going for like 2 hours, dude. I'm sorry.
It's all good. So you said I was weaseling the question about hypocrisy. Do you not understand why that's hypocrisy?
I don't think you were weaseling it. What do you mean?
You just accused me of weaseling out of the question about hypocrisy. That's what you just said to me verbatim.
Because you started going somewhere else, I feel like. Or I did say that, I apologize. I felt like you were going somewhere different with the conversation. If that's not the case, then I apologize.
Okay, so I'm going to re-explain to you why it's hypocrisy. In one situation, you're getting angry at me because I called the Acheeto situation where, and I'm using the most bad faith wording here possible, because that's how you described it, where he took advantage of a 16-year-old fan by encouraging her parasociality, her obsession of him, by interacting with her on Twitter and DMs and following her instead of cutting it off. Me calling that a nothing burger is wrong, but you calling out Jar asking a 17-year-old fan for loot art, that can be a nothing burger. That's where the hypocrisy is. And the only way to prove it, and the only way to prove that it isn't hypocrisy is what you said. One would have to be so worse that it isn't comparable. But then when I ask you to argue for, okay, why is one so worse that it's not comparable? You tell me you were unable to. So it's not that we are agreeing to disagree. It's that you have positions that you are publicly giving that you know you cannot defend. You publicly gave your position on the jar thing. You publicly gave your position on the Acheeto thing. And now when people are asking you, me being people actually, why? Why are these two different? And why are you not a hypocrite? As somebody that wants to be a commentator, as somebody who's integrity, we are supposed to trust. As somebody whose consistency on reporting situations, we are supposed to trust. You are now sitting here telling me, well, I can't tell you. I can't tell you why it's worse, and therefore I can't tell you why I'm not a hypocrite. You just admitted fucking... Are you stupid? Right before you went to pee, you said, no, I can't tell you why it's worse.
Again, I'm gonna try really, really hard. I think, again, not comparable. These situations are insanely different. One involves literally just like entertaining an insanely impressionable parasocial fan who's obsessed, and then one involves like some girl drawing lewd art, right? So I look at one of those situations and I see, okay, what is the possible harm that can come from taking advantage of an obsessed parasocial fan, right? Parasocial relationships in and of themselves are not inherently unhealthy, but they very easily can become unhealthy, right? So I look at the potential harm there and I'm like, okay, this is probably bad. This is probably whatever. I don't think it's like good. I think it's bad. That's kind of how I came to my conclusion with that, right? And then I look at like the 17-year-old, the potential harm that could come from Jar asking this 17-year-old to draw lewd art. I look at that situation and I look at the potential harm, and I cannot see a world in which like this has any harm on the same value as the Acheeto thing, right? I see the potential of harm here as like two very, very different things that are almost incomparable, but if made to compare them, I think one is obviously worse than the other just based on the level of harm that could possibly be produced from them, maybe. Is that good for you?
So you're explaining to me the what? You're explaining
to me
what you... No, because you're explaining to me the what you think. You think one is worse than the other. Why you think it, or no, what you're explaining the what, which is one is worse than the other, and what each situation is. And you're like fucking 100 fucking word explanation. You're not doing an English essay, okay? So you re-explain the what, but I'm not asking you for the what. I'm asking you for the why.
Okay, so again, why I think these are different. I looked at the potential harm that could be enacted by someone entertaining a really unhealthy parasocial relationship like this, and then I looked at the harm that could potentially come from asking a 17-year-old fan to draw art, right? I think the potential of harm for entertaining a unhealthy parasocial relationship is significantly higher than the potential of harm from asking a 17-year-old to draw like lewd art or NSFW art, right? I just explained this. I'm trying to explain to you how I came to that conclusion and why I think the way I do, and all of that, right? It is the way I view things, or I try to view things in most cases. Obviously there's exceptions, but it is the potential harm that comes from something, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, you're explaining the what again. There's no why.
That I'm explaining why. So the reason as to why I came to this conclusion is one has a higher potential harm
than the other. Okay, perfect. I'm glad you could narrow it down.
How did you not get that from what I just said?
Because, dude, people, you're going on these fucking like tangents explaining your life story. Why can't you just say that when I say what? Or why did you just say?
No, what did you think
10
I just
minutes ago,
said, dude? Oh my god!
Why did you just
say? Have you been listening to me this entire time?
Why did you just say 10 minutes ago that you actually couldn't tell me why one was worse than the other?
Because I don't know what the fuck you want from me. I'm insanely confused in this call, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm saying like obviously the way what you've just done to me now is not what you were doing like throughout the course of this discussion. But I'll address what you did now, so we don't go back in the fucking morale time machine, the debate time machine, bro. So one is so you claim that one has more. It's worse because one has more risk than the other, correct?
The potential of harm, sure.
Sure. So your definition of worse in this context is what? The potential of harm?
Measuring the potential harm that one action has compared to the other.
Okay. So if it's worse because the potential harm, and your definition of worse is the potential harm, then you're essentially saying to me it's worse because it's worse.
I'm giving you like my measurement, dude. Okay. I'm giving you this thing has a higher potential harm, so there's a higher level that this person could be harmed from this interaction, which obviously being harmed is like a bad thing. It is a moral bad, probably, right?
Sure. Why are they more likely to be harmed in this scenario?
Because dude,
I don't care.
I think that entertaining a parasocial relationship that is unhealthy is probably bad. Do you want me to explain why entertaining a parasocial relationship is probably bad?
You're re-explaining what it is. You're not explaining
okay,
what.
holy fuck. Okay, let's just move on. We're not. I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, so you can't tell. You just have to re-explain it. You can't tell me why it's okay. Cool.
I have told you the why. I am telling you. I have told you the why. I have explained. Okay, I'm gonna explain. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for the last time.
Wait, dude, I gotta peek. Will you give me 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro,
what's up?
Okay, so I thought, okay, there's like a fundamental miscommunication here. I'm missing something. So I gotta be honest with you. I didn't actually just go to the bathroom. I went to my chat. There's like 140 people watching, and I went to ask them, guys, there's something wrong here. I know he's re-explaining to me what happened, but why is one thing worse than the other? Can anyone tell me? And out of all the 140 people, not a single fucking person can tell me why you think one is worse than the other. So I don't think this is a me problem.
Okay, sure. So let's do this. I can't explain to you why one is worse than the other. Let's move on, or else we're going to continue to loop on this. I have tried my best. I have tried my best.
So what you just admitted to like 15 minutes ago. Now we're readmitting. Okay, cool.
I tried.
You just re-explain the what. I don't like. This is why I asked you. Like, is English a second language of yours?
I'm telling you that I tried. I apologize if it was not good enough for you. We can move on.
No,
if you'd like.
I actually want to make sure that I'm being like.
If you're just gonna be like a condescending asshole, I don't think there's a point of conversation here.
Is like English a second language of yours? I just want to make sure. Or like, do you have like is there like a processing like problem you've got? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Wait, Augie wants in.
I don't think Augie wants in.
I think Augie wants in.
I think Augie can manage without being added to this.
That's not the real Augie, is it? Wait, let me check.
Can you not just DM him and ask?
Yeah, that's the fake one. That's not the real one.
I'm sure if he wanted in, he would DM you.
Okay, that's the fake Augie in chat. All right, Mariah, you ready to take callers?
Take callers in a fireside chat?
Yeah, come on. Get in a call-in section.
Dude, I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. I don't know.
You stream like for 6 hours. Get them live on air. I'll drag you up. You're my server.
I don't think this has been a productive enough conversation for,
I think it is.
me to want to.
I want to take callers.
You can take callers on your own, Dad.
Wait, why don't you?
Okay.